I'm doing a crayon work.
You paid to take that fucking picture, pal.
No, I didn't.
Do it again. What did he say?
You paid to take that fucking picture,
No,
pal.
I didn't.
He's got Nancy.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god! You paid to take that fucking picture, pal. Oh my god! Oh, this is gonna be epic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can tell already. I'm crying.
Oh, man.
Oh.
All right, I'll shut up.
All right, I'll bring us in because if I go anymore, I won't be able to talk. I'm laughing too hard. Oh shit! All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? Cool Truth, baby. Pillar to Post. We're back. WrestleMania Wrestling Podcast Network from Pillar to Post YouTube channel. Co-show again. With us tonight, once again, the host of Pillar to Post, the one and only internet radio sensation, Joe White. What's up, my brother?
You paid to take that fucking picture, pal.
Circle.
What did he hear? I can't get that. What is he saying? What am I saying?
Circle.
He's calling you a jerk. Oh, in the
What's up, White?
Oh man. Hey, golly, it's Edward. Somebody spanked me. I thought he was dead.
there you go. We got it. We missed White House tonight, but also with us, the mastermind behind Cool Truth News, the executive producer, Blading for Truth, the one and only Mr. Hollywood Edwards. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? WrestleMania night.
Oh, yeah.
Night 2.
Well, why we got you on before we get into tonight, since we already did a show, couple quick thoughts about last night, things we might have missed or your overall take on night 1.
I thought it was okay. I thought they were good and, some good, some bad, but I think the highlight was probably, I enjoyed Cesaro and Rollins and Lashley and Drew. And I think the bunny surprised a lot of people. He surprised me. So surprisingly,
Well, I got from the way it looked tonight, I'm back in my big rig and I'm getting ready to carry Bad Bunny out on his big world tour in 2 years.
Nice, White.
Gig. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you can drive them around at different arenas as we get fans back. But as far as the main event goes,
yeah,
they're making a big deal trying to, like, I looked at tonight as the main event of WrestleMania, but they pointed out a lot. It's the main event of night 2, trying to keep it as the main event of night 1, which I guess they're different shows, so I guess that's kind of a fair take. But what was your take on the main event last night?
I think, the way it ended, and I think the way a lot ended tonight, I think Vince is making a statement here. And I think Sasha taking that title and putting over Bianca Belair, I think it's a statement. And I think her style, I know a lot of wrestling pundits out there think that she's not really NXT type style. She's more main roster style. She's bigger. The story that they told was, considering Sasha Banks is like 110 pounds soaking wet. But the story they told was Bianca is more powerful. She's bigger, badder, better. And as we saw tonight, I think there were some moves made. I think it was an interesting Mania from that perspective because if you look at the competitors out there, it looks to me like Vince is going the other way.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this. I sent you a text last night. You said you were having the same conversation with some of your friends. The land of the giants, bigger. They're going bigger. They're going badder than the competition. So.
Yep. And there was another spot, the beginning of the cage match, where you had Elias and Jackson Riker come out, and those are two other big boys too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bodied up, the whole thing.
But as far as the match goes, I thought it was good, but I don't know, man. There's something weird going on because coming off, Charlotte, Becky, Ronda, that whole main event.
Yep.
This main event was a little different. Like, to me, it wasn't as good, but at the same time, I feel like there's a transition going on. So I don't know how you guys read it, but I didn't think it was as good of a wrestling match,
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was just a little different to me.
I agree, and I overall, I totally agree with your whole point about Vince's direction. And I really didn't even think about that with Bianca Belair as opposed to Sasha. The different style of work, the size, the whole thing. And then I think about Rhea Ripley tonight, and another case in point. And when Charlotte comes back, she would fit into that category also.
Right.
Which is why she's probably been the most successful coming out of NXT, because she checks all the boxes. But yeah, let's get into tonight, night 2. No rain delays. But man, I don't know how you guys felt, but I'm looking at the clock and it's like 8:25 and there was no wrestling yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought the entrance, Randy's entrance is always good. It was a little bit long, but I thought it's always good. The Fiend's entrance was awesome. And after that, it's kind of like we had another 40 minutes or 35 minutes of, man, am I watching WrestleMania? What is going on here? But, I mean, White, your thoughts about Fiend and Orton and the entrance and all that? Wait.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no, I
White.
can hear
White
you.
there.
Now I hear you.
Circle.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to stream this live, and it's fucking
Big
not
Big.
working.
Go ahead, White.
Are you sure I can go?
Yeah, you can go. Go ahead.
He's
Oh man.
the return
I
of Magic Melvin Dassey.
think that the entrances and everything were just like you said. I'm sitting there looking at it and my clock, and I'm going, we're about at least 10 minutes in, and America the Beautiful is still being sung.
Well,
So
the
it's
other thing too was they re-showed that whole video package from last night.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I
Yeah.
watching this again?
True.
I do think, however, that the the entrance for Wyatt was okay. I liked it. It was like with the whole supernatural thing. They went from that burnt up mask to him just walking through and being the normal Fiend again with just slightly different alterations to his mask. My family, like I said, the rest of my family does not watch. My son watches, but my wife, my kids, the other two, my two stepkids, they'll watch it if I have it on, because hey, it's what's on in the living room, and they said that when at the end of the match, when they were doing the whole angle with Alexa, they were like, I know Edwards, you saw Suicide Squad, didn't you? The first one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She looked just like Enchantress by the end of that, with that shit dripping down her face.
Yes.
And that's what they akined it to. And the rest of the reactions from my family was like, why? We don't get this. What's happening? They spend all this time building this shit up only to have a 5-minute and 50-second fucking kerfluffle. It wasn't even a match. Randy hit 3 draping DDTs and a few punches. That was it.
Yeah.
The Fiend played jobber.
Yeah, that was interesting. I do, dude. I have no idea what this means here. Is this the end of the Fiend? Did they go through all this to bring him back, to have him gone? I just don't understand.
They've done it before. They've done it with shit before. I mean, my thing is, to me, the way I view it's from a storyline perspective. He went for the Sister Abigail, and then Alexa finally made that transition to, okay, she's full on possessed by Sister Abigail now. She is Sister Abigail. That's no longer Alexa. If I see her come out there smiling with the blonde hair, bouncing around like Pee Wee's Playhouse again, I'm going to be pissed. She needs to come out there in that black attire with the shit dripping, every.
What if they? No, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, and then I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe they're going to pull the angle of Alexa now is more powerful than the Fiend, so she can control him now. From that, which is so overdone and boring to me. But the overall reaction in this house was we sat through ever since TLC December, I think it was when he burnt him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've
TLC.
sat here since December and followed this shit along. Now, granted, the majority of it, Alexa Bliss has played the part really good. But we've sat here since September and built this up and built this up and built this up for nothing.
Well, I mean, if they had the Booker of the Year, it probably would have been better.
Oh, yeah.
Edward, your thoughts?
He would have drew crayon.
He drew up the big plan with crayons.
There you go.
So, and this seems like another example of crayon drawing because I don't know where they're going with this. So I'm watching it with my nephews and my son, and Lil Q, shout out Q, said, so she's supposed to be like possessed by Sister Abigail? She's a Sister Abigail? And I said, yeah, I guess essentially that's what they're doing. And then when when she morphed into, the queen there sitting, controlling Wyatt, it seemed, with the shit running down her face, I thought to myself, you know what? I hope they really thought this out because there's no way she can go back to being Alexa Bliss with the blonde hair because how the hell do you get there at this point? Like, if you're going to tell me storyline wise, and this is so weird, like with these characters, we've talked about this many times through the years with the Cool Truth, but it's like, if you're going to have these characters, you have to keep them a certain way and you have to keep them protected to a certain spot because there's no going back then to what they were.
And I think
that's where they're at now with this. I think, like, how do you go back from this?
Well, I think that's the $10,000 question. I mean, I'm almost like, did we just witness the end of it, and we're not going to see Alexa or Bray Wyatt for 6 months, and then they're just going to come back as their original,
like we're going
to
forget.
I know people would probably hate it, but I just don't see how they go forward here.
Unless they do some sort of redemption storyline by when SummerSlam gets here
that might even be too soon.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could have Nikki Cross finally be the one to pull the good out of her. That's a hell of a story, I think. If they do it, good and put some time and effort into it. But like you said, and even like I mentioned, this is Alexa now. I don't want to see her bopping around. I don't want her seeing from swing sets. I want to see her cutting promos in a really dark voice. I want to see, I want to see this character now, where it goes from here. They do have me a little bit intrigued, but I feel like the match should have been gone. They should have at least had some sort of a match before they went to the shitty finish. Because that's how WWE.
Yeah, there wasn't much of a match at all.
Yeah.
No, 5 minutes. I mean, at least with WWE, if you're going to give us a bullshit gaga finish, they at least try to have somewhat of a good match beforehand.
I think it's tough too with the red.
All right, Tony. Great pay-per-view tonight.
Tony Kahn joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Kahn and his cronies.
Tony Kahn always puts on a great pay-per-view, according to the media.
No doubt.
Although, hey, I found it funny. I did a video right after I did that bit. I played the audio about how Meltzer finally kind of is starting to criticize their booking.
Yeah.
After he awarded such and such Booker of the, Mr. Craig, Booker of the Year. I'll start calling him Tony Crayola.
Was it Meltzer and Alvarez who brought up the fact that 2 weeks ago there was 60 different members of the roster on Dynamite?
Yep, it was Meltzer. Yep. And I find it funny how I did a video talking
60.
about what Meltzer said.
And that's not even half the roster.
It wasn't 60. It was like 73, he said.
Oh, I mean, I believe it. I mean, thinking about it, you had 18 members of the roster in one match. If you take the women's tag match and all the characters outside, there was 18 people out ringside for that. Not even counting the ring announcer.
But I did a video about what Meltzer said, maybe he's finally come around. And then Cornette also on one of his podcasts this week analyzed the same clip and was talking about it. Speaking of Cornette and this match, the old adage that Cornette said happens to be true. If you come out of a box, you're over. So,
Yeah, I thought that when I saw the box.
you know, he came out of whether a jack in the box, a plywood box, a crane box when Chris Statlander popped out last week. You come out of a box, you're over. You know?
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing here, man.
Dude,
I really don't. It was really weird and bad news for Vince. But
Well, I don't think
they booed it. They booed
got
it
you
when
in
lights came back up.
yeah, it got booed good too.
If this was supposed to be the blow off, which I don't think we now know, this is not the blow off. You don't say
It can't be.
You know, but the problem is it's WrestleMania. And I think this whole stigma of WrestleMania should be the blow off of the feuds.
They didn't blow off.
No.
They didn't blow off almost anything in this WrestleMania, to be honest with you.
I mean, and that the thought of that is kind of passe now. Because look what they're doing, the WrestleMania brand, look what they're doing for next month. They're calling it WrestleMania Backlash. Next month. The name of the pay-per-view is no longer just Backlash. It was
Right.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, I think Graves said that too.
Yep, and it even had the WrestleMania logo over top of the Backlash logo.
Yep.
So Jim M was over, McDermott, Jigsaw Jiggy, shout out, watching it with me. And when Fiend was on the box, he goes, I'm gonna pop if he jumps off the box and RKO's him and pins him. I was like, well, that would make up a lot of time. And he jumped off the box and we both like went breathless. We were like, oh my God. We thought it was fucking gonna happen.
They we'll get to the singers later. It's like then the old adage is the entrances were good, everything was good, and then the bell rang. That's what this match was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see where they go next. Now, granted, given that it's Vince McMahon and it's an audience of one, and the writers are writing for an audience of one,
Right.
it's probably not going to amount to shit, and it's probably not going to be good, and it's probably going to be something that we go, really? Come on now. But
The bomb going up at the end didn't really hurt anybody.
Tony Kahn, ladies
That's
and
what you're
gentlemen.
trying to say, right?
Exactly. Tony took the words right out of my mouth.
Definitely. I guess it didn't hurt anybody.
That's why he's Booker of the Year right there.
Before we move on, I got one other question about this. Was this the right match to open the show?
Yes.
I say no.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Well, here's the thing. Knowing what
I think they had 3 or 4 other options, to be honest with you.
you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because if they would have had a full-on match and had a little bit of more than 5 minutes of Gaga, okay, yeah. This could have been filler for like in between 2 hot matches.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, the way it worked out. The only reason why I asked, because I actually, talking out loud with friends of mine that were here, I was like, I'm surprised they're opening with that. Like,
Sheamus and Riddle
somebody.
should-
Yeah, I actually thought Sheamus and Riddle.
Oh, well,
Some people thought Owens and Zayn. Other people, Big E and Apollo Crews could have opened.
But to your point,
even
White,
even the women's title match.
to your point, White. I'm sure Vince probably just thought, let's get the Gaga out of the way, and then we don't have to worry about it.
let's get the Gaga out of the way. Hey, this whole show was full of Gaga.
Well,
Yeah, but that whole thing, it wasn't even a match. It was just Gaga.
That's an
So
ang- That's an
yeah.
angle with a little
Yeah.
bit of wrestling mixed in with it.
exactly.
Not even 5 minutes and 50 fucking seconds. It's the shortest match out of both nights.
so you get this match, and you're kind of left scratching your head at best.
Mhm.
And then they followed up with the women's tag match, which was probably the second worst match on the card. And I'm not going to say the entire show was horrible,
I'll
but
go.
this was a horrible hour.
I'll go. Randy Orton versus The Fiend was not even the best quote unquote match or was not even the worst quote unquote match on the card.
No, I
There
think this
was
tag
other-
match was the worst match.
I'll go Riddle and Sheamus.
Well, that match wasn't that great either. I agree with you.
Sheamus sucked. Botchamania. Just Matthew.
That's what bothered me about it.
That's
I thought
Botchamania
Riddle
match.
had a rough night.
Yeah, Riddle can't fucking work. He proved it.
I think he can.
I
think
don't
you
want
guys
to
are
say
wrong.
it can't work. I just think he had a bad night.
Yeah, and Sheamus paid his ass with a receipt there, right there at
He-
the end too, boy.
I actually did text that and to Stames in Hollywood
Yep.
when we were
I have
discussing it. I was like, was he just sick of saving his ass all night or what?
Shoot, that was a full-on shoot.
You really think he kicked him in the face on purpose?
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he
I was
kicked
joking.
full on purpose, but I guess he definitely let the tip of the boot get in there.
It may have just been a little bit of timing there.
I think he needs to put wrestling boots on
Yeah.
and get some gear.
Who, Riddle?
Yeah.
I think it's time.
I don't even
like-
think he needs wrestling boots. I mean, even to sell the MMA character, you could just wear amateur wrestling shoes.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, he needs something.
Oh,
Something.
but
That's fine.
Or I mean, even to the point. Remember, I think it was what's his name, Miro, whatever the fuck he was called there. I can't even remember right now. He wore like those tie ankle things.
Right.
Even
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. The
I mean,
feet thing is
the,
weird.
the barefoot thing. Oh God!
They actually talked about it on the pre-show.
I like the whole wrestling barefoot thing as long as you don't go. I mean, Kevin Von Erich used to wrestle barefoot, for crying out loud.
You
But
know what
but
I think when
I don't think anybody else should because of Kevin Von Erich. That's
they
my problem.
They
with it.
brought up Von Erich.
it wasn't
I
even.
think
the
it was JBL who brought up Von Erich on
It
the
wasn't
pre-show.
the barefoot thing that hurt him. It's the fact of, like you said, maybe he had a bad night.
I just think he had a bad night.
Riddle shat the bed in this match. Sheamus is not to blame for this. This is all Riddle.
I didn't think the match was that bad. What was so bad about it? Tell me the botches
so
that
many-
Riddle made.
So many botches in this match when they were
Name
the
one.
white noise thing coming off the top.
Okay, all right, stop right there. Stop right there. How is that Riddle's fault when Sheamus has him on his back and slips off the rope?
I think
How's that Riddle's fault?
He slipped off. He slipped off of. He slipped off of Sheamus's back, and Sheamus
Hey,
had.
scumbag, you said you.
Scumbag.
He's just gonna,
I thought the
Sorry, White, I had to set you up there.
he
And there
whiffed
were
on
so-
the suplex.
Yeah,
He
so
definitely
many-
whiffed on the first suplex.
and
And then there was a spot in the middle. I don't remember the exact sequence, but I felt like Riddle. I don't know. It was just like a weird like. It almost reminded me of that weird like timing thing with Sasha in the corner last night, where I don't know exactly what she was trying to do or what Riddle was trying to do, but it just looked like it was off. And he definitely whiffed on the first suplex. I mean, he's
Yeah, he
fucking,
did. He totally did.
you know. And I mean, listen, if it was just that, I mean, I wouldn't care. The corner spot, I mean, all right, blame it on either guy. I don't know. There just seemed to be a lot off in this match.
just maybe.
I mean, but I
maybe
just chalk it up to like a bad night. You know what I mean? Like,
Riddle
I'm
was-
glad Sheamus won. I'm not the biggest Riddle fan, but I'm not gonna like end his career on that match either.
Right.
But in Vince McMahon's eyes, he'll be right down to the fucking 24/7 crew.
I don't know. Maybe I guess we'll have to see.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think the guy. I like the guy because he can sell. When he's taking a beating, he looks like he's taking a beating, and I think that's important to Vince. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I think there's a transition going on, and for Sheamus to walk into Mania and just take the U.S. title, I think Vince might be making a move here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think I definitely think you're onto something. But I mean, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves anyway.
See,
But
Yeah.
Why did he make this move? He doesn't see AEW as competition, obviously, because Jericho's on their network right
I
now.
think he's making this move because I think he thinks that a lot of wrestling fans want to see
Yes.
Adonis and they don't want to see a fucking video game nerd wrestling. And I think, honestly, a lot of the friends that I have agree with that.
Tell that though to everybody that was sitting in their damn crowd tonight and last night wearing those GCW shirts. Sammy Callahan promotion.
Yeah, I mean, how many guys?
Yeah,
are you
all
talking-
40,000 were wearing the GCW shirts.
I mean,
Come on, Wade.
There was a lot of them. There was a lot.
yeah. Well, give me a percentage. It's less than 1%.
But there was enough to where it was enough to where
I also saw tons of guys wearing the Maestro's barbershop shirts. The guys
Yes.
who cut their hair, who conveniently were sitting in the front row, probably because they were
think so.
vaccinated or tested, and they gave them front row seats.
I was
I
gonna
know.
I was
So
going to
those
ask you.
guys were there too. What are they, like a cult following?
I was going to ask you. Do you either of you know what that is? That some
They're the
MMA
barbers.
thing, or-
Because a friend of mine from Connecticut, a guy who used to cut my hair, he works for Mastro's. So whenever WWE's in the Northeast, him and a bunch of other barbers from here, they go wherever they are and they cut all their hair backstage and everything else. So they have this company has these barbers positioned all over the country, and WWE use them for the haircuts in the back.
So what is that, like a high dollar supercuts type thing, like a chain?
I wouldn't call it super cuts. I mean, these are like professional barbers.
High dollar. Yeah.
No, okay. See, my
Calling
wife,
it I mean, if you called any of those guys super cuts to their face, they'd probably cold.
What if you said high dollar supercuts? Because that's
Yeah, I still think you're getting cold.
Gucci cuts. How about that?
That,
Goddamn, pal.
I'm dead.
All right, let's get to this ladies tag team championship
yeah,
match
let's
and just
do
get it. Let's just get out of the way. Spend the 5 seconds on it that we need to spend on it. My opinion is 3 people in this match are not that great, and I like Shayna Baszler. I mean, that's where I'm at.
My thought is Shayna Baszler shat the bed. This is the worst I've ever seen her. All 4 of these women sucked. Absolutely fucking sucked.
You think Shayna? I didn't think Shayna sucked.
Did Natalia get a boob job that I wasn't aware of, or was that just her outfit making her tits look really large?
I thought the
She
same
might
thing.
have gained a little bit of weight in that.
I mean, it's pretty sad that that's the only thing I really remember from this fucking match.
I mean, this is given their lineage. Tamina and Nia Jax being that terrible is just shocking.
A lot of tits in this match.
You know,
Titties.
I thought for sure goddamn pal,
Goddamn, pal.
goddamn pal.
Is that White House?
That's Bruce.
That was just like White House.
It's Pritchard. Yes, it is.
Oh, is it
Call.
Bridget?
Yep.
Goddamn pal.
Yeah, I'm with you, AC. I thought I usually like Baszler, but this match, this didn't feel like WrestleMania because, like
No.
White, you said, it started with an angle with wrestling, and then it went into this, and you're like, man, this is a rough first, 45 minutes or whatever. When's Mania start?
Dude, the match was long.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
I mean, when I said the word, when I texted Smitty and Conda and Sean, shout out boys, at like 8:48, I was like, this might be the worst first hour of WrestleMania ever. And I thought I would get backlash from people because I didn't think it would actually last the hour. And literally, Sami Zayn was coming down at like 9 o'clock. Like the third match haven't even started yet. So I was like, that's probably the worst hour of WrestleMania.
This belonged on the pre-show. It really did belong on the pre-show. I don't even know if they do a pre-show match tonight.
I didn't see.
I don't
watched
think so.
pre-shows and I didn't see a match.
You watched that pre-show.
That might have been a rain. Was that had something to do with rain concerns? Maybe, I don't know.
You did a damn pre-show. You watched the pre-show because you messaged me and said, yes, Sonya Deville is pretty fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. I actually paid attention. It was bad.
She was actually way better tonight than she was last night.
That's scary.
Yep.
I think a lot of their problem is what AEW has the problem with the women. They don't take it seriously enough. And even the champs, they're thrown together. They're singles. They're 2 individuals. They don't really have teams. And the teams that they actually have, like the Riot Squad, they don't give a shit. They don't take it seriously.
And half the time, these two.
That's why I'm hopeful that they're starting to build women's tag teams in NXT. Hopefully that would transition into the. I mean, we all know you got to take NXT with a grain of salt when it comes to the main roster, but at least they're actually building real tag teams in NXT.
Hold on, AC. The only reason why, in storyline wise, the only reason why they even have tag titles is because they couldn't beat the guys on the fucking the women on the main roster. So, fucking William Regal throws them a bone. That's why those titles are there, storyline wise. You fought Nia and Shayna twice. You couldn't beat them. So we're gonna throw you a bone, and
right, but they are building women's tag teams.
Yeah, they are. They're building them
That's-
now that they have the titles. But to me, it's like those titles.
Yeah, but even if you took if you took the NXT tag team titles out of it, the women's tag team titles, they are actually putting tag teams together.
Oh yeah.
Edward's point is in the main roster, these are thrown together teams just picked.
Right. That's
And
what I'm saying.
the only time they really had a women's tag team is when they did that thing with Billie Kay and what's her face?
Yeah, the Iconics.
A couple years, the Iconics, and since then they haven't had a real women's tag team the whole time.
Yeah, and now one of the Iconics is in a tag team, but it's not the Iconics. So figure that out.
I'm looking at these women that were on WrestleMania both nights, even the tag team turmoil match. The only freaking team on here that is not thrown completely together was the Riot Squad.
Right.
That's the only, and even they've broken up and gotten back together 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't get it.
This match was the shits.
Yep.
Here looking, going, oh my god, I'm begging for night 1 to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was rough. The match wasn't good. The ending wasn't good. Yeah, the whole thing, it's just not good. And here, there was a point in the match where I thought the crowd kind of like they were trying to will themselves to want to be into it. But for the majority of the match, they're sitting like nobody cared. And it's almost like the crowd tried to get into it, like thinking like, if we get into this, will they end it? You know what I mean? Like
next match, they were into it except for one fucking thing. If you want to transition into that.
Yeah, we could go to the next one. Go ahead.
The next one is Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn with Logan Paul. Owens got a good pop. Zayn got a good pop. They could give 2 shits about Logan Paul. And my 21-year-old stepdaughter, we were talking about this after the fact. She goes, I can't fucking stand Logan Paul. No, but Logan Paul is now a meme. The only reason why he had that back boxing match is because he ran his mouth off on Twitter and then he got sat down and shutting up, you know?
First of all, scumbag, okay?
All right,
That's Logan Paul.
This is a little like lack of knowledge about Logan Paul. You know.
Well, I mean, nobody.
He didn't get sat down by anybody.
Well, I mean, he lost.
He lost a decision
but
to
still.
another YouTuber, and he's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
People actually don't like him though.
No.
Yeah, they don't like him. They don't like either one of them, but they play to that shtick.
Nobody fucking likes this guy.
They don't like him, but he has 23 million YouTube followers.
That's true.
He's a
Yeah.
fucking millionaire.
Well, the thing is, 23 million, and half of them hate him, don't even watch him anymore. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. It doesn't mean that those subscribers are watching your fucking videos.
I mean, he's doing something. Hey, listen, Floyd Mayweather is not fighting him for no reason.
His big downfall was when he did that Suicide Forest thing, and it showed a dead body on a YouTube video.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't know who he was before that either. Listen, I'm not trying to defend Logan or Jake Paul here.
Nobody cared about him here.
The live crowd didn't. And you know what? And here's the thing. We talked about this last night, and I promised you I would look into the YouTube numbers and report back. And the second most watched video on WWE YouTube today was the Bad Bunny fucking highlights.
There you go.
What was
that's why they're doing it.
What was number 1?
The overall highlights of night 1. And then the third was Strowman throwing Shane off the top of the cage.
Oh, jeez.
Those were the top 3. And I'll tell you, like a bunch of the other shit you might think people would want to see didn't even get half the amount of views.
I find it funny how they already had. I mean, well, I don't remember exactly where it aired, but going back to Bunny for a second, they had that fucking send-off thing pre-taped. And I took that to mean as, hey, you did good.
Yeah. Yep.
But instead of capitalizing on this and continuing it like we should, goodbye, go do your tour, and after you're done touring and killing yourself with drugs and alcohol on tour,
I mean, how do you know he's doing that? Dude, you just assume so much about people. Oh my God, he's Spanish. He's definitely a drug addict.
Goddamn, pal.
Christ. How do you know the guy? How do you know he's not at church this morning?
I said that because I knew it would rile you the fuck up, and you could go to church, and I guarantee you half the people that go to church on any given Sunday afterwards go home and pop a nice cold beer. So
I'm just saying, go on your tour and do drugs, you scumbag. Oh my God.
Hey, first of all, scumbag, okay?
I mean, no, that's what they had that pre-taped, which tells me that they didn't have to air that. They had that pre-done, so they said, okay.
They probably had him contracted up to a certain day or something.
Probably, yeah.
That tour's not kicking off till 2022 next year. They got a full year. They could use this guy.
Maybe they don't have him contracted till then either. You know,
He's not a wrestler though.
How long do you want to keep him? You don't think he has other things to do than show up to fucking Raw every Monday?
Oh, come on.
He might be recording a new album. How do you know what I mean? Like,
he has a lot of drugs to do. AC.
His career is pop. Yeah, of course, he's got to bang bitches, do drugs, and be a criminal. I mean, obviously, that's what when you live down south. This is what you think everybody lives that life.
He's got to live the gimmick, you know.
I mean, he's probably gonna have somebody shoot him in the ass so he could be like a real gangster.
Shoot him in the ass.
Do you remember that episode of Sopranos where they had the rapper? They paid who was it?
I was just thinking, was that the Shield? Where did I see that?
No, it was Sopranos. Yeah, where they paid Bacalata. He's like, I'm a marksman. He's like, just shoot him in the ass so you don't kill him, so he can get the street cred.
I did read something on Facebook today that was like, how do all you kings of the indies like the fact that a motherfucker only trained for 3 months and showed up every single last one of you this weekend?
It's true.
It's true. It is.
When he hit that Rana, I totally popped.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, we see Ranas out the ass in 2 hours every Wednesday night, and nobody hits it like that.
Here's a guy. Okay.
We do see a lot of them. You know, Edward, you made a good point too through text. The camera angle on the Destroyer, it probably would have looked better with a better angle.
Yes.
It would have looked better if it happened in the ring.
Well, that made that point too. Yeah.
I find it funny too how this guy trains for 3 fucking months. 3 months. And he outshined Natalya.
Yep.
He outshined Shayna fucking Baszler. He outshined Natalya Neidhart.
Why are you fucking dumping on my girl Shayna? What did she have to work with? Here's one thing about Nia Jax too, and I say this again, I got to throw this out there. How are you fucking part of the Samoan dynasty and you can't do a proper Samoan drop? It just blows me away that she cannot do a proper Samoan drop.
Hasn't she gotten better ring gear by now, at least?
That's a story for another day.
I'll go back to what my may he rest in peace, Rick Hendrickson always used to say. She looks like it's a sausage suit. She looks like a fucking sausage out there. I mean, come on. Goddamn, pal.
I think there was a time where she was.
Goddamn, pal.
Thank you.
I think there was a time where she was kind of like, starting to look the part more, and the ring gear was. It wasn't helping her.
She hasn't changed.
She's beyond that point, though. No. Just to be fair, I'm not trying to, body shame anybody. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, different ring gear might help.
Owens and Zayn, though, I thought this match, I mean, it told a good story. I'm curious, I hadn't really been following the whole Sami Zayn thing.
It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the gimmick. Here's the rub. They now have to do something with this conspiracy thing shit about they're against me and who is they. They need to bring somebody in as the quote unquote they. That's where this needs to lead to.
I don't think I see your point, White, but I don't think they need to do it. I think they just need to have Sammy blame somebody and keep blaming whoever that is. Yes. Whether they did it or not. Whether, you know what I mean? Whether it's because it could be all in his head because he's crazy. I want to see
somebody sitting behind a panel.
I agree with Edward just because he's doing this as a heel.
Yeah, but that's...
So you would think if he was doing it as like a baby, you would think some kind of authority figure would come out. But I don't know that you're going to get that because he's a heel. More than anything, I think you're going to get him going... You would think he'd go to so he went to Owens as a friend, and he's like, you're a deranged idiot. I'm going to kick the shit out of you. I think you're probably going to get more of that.
Yeah, he may come out tomorrow night and say, it's you. You're they.
Yeah, right.
And he's going to be like, do I
Blame
need to kick your
Owens.
ass again?
It's all of you. It's all the fans, even though they're not going to be in front of
Dude,
fans.
one thing, I want to. I mean, the match was good. I mean, I had high expectations with those guys, and I almost was like, are they going to try to top Cesaro and Rollins? Just thinking about the Ring of Honor,
Right.
Lineage and everything else. But Owens coming out, and I wanted Sami Zayn to win just because I think the character's fun. But dude, Owens his like energy was off the charts.
Well, I hated the commentary match because here it is. They're hitting the same fucking moves that we've seen these two guys hit match after match after match. And the commentators are acting like they're the greatest thing since sliced fucking. They were way too over the top here, I thought. Way over the top.
The commentary, yeah, the commentary sucks everywhere, to be honest with you.
I mean,
Yeah,
Cole
sure.
is like,
Except for Kevin Kelly.
yeah, true. Cole and fucking Graves, I think they're sitting there talking about they're marking out over the damn Holoba kick like they've never seen it before. Or
There was something else. Oh, you know what Cole said tonight that I thought was stupid? He goes, when the Jack in the Box was by ringside, and they were already in the 3 minutes of whatever you want to call the wrestling match. Yeah, I'm like, it's a fucking Jack in the Box, dude.
well, that's a Vinceism.
Box-like structure.
We can't say Jack in the Box. People would take that
Goddamn,
wrong.
pal.
They said choke slam tonight, though. They did say choke slam.
Yes, there were some slaps too tonight.
Standards and
Well,
practices.
I thought the slappy thing is just for NXT.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just an NXT thing. I think it's like a shot at like the new like Adam Cole and those guys, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because I don't think Vince ever wants to bring them up, so he just probably dumps on them.
Probably.
Although, I mean, NXT Night 2, pretty damn good.
That's what I heard.
It was good. Both nights were good.
Both nights are good.
But again, you can't really compare NXT to this. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
they're
I just almost switched that either their title match or their O'Reilly Cole match made it to one of the WrestleMania matches.
You'll never have an NXT match on WrestleMania.
I know.
Never.
I get it. But I mean, it's this when people call it developmental, I cringe because it's the third
It's
brand.
not any. It's
Yeah,
their third, and the
Yeah,
problem is
I agree.
attached to it. But yeah, Owens and Zayn they delivered the
I
Logan
give
Paul.
Logan Paul credit though. I thought he took this stunner pretty well, considering
I
he
was
really never
worried.
done it
I was-
before.
I was worried that he fucked his shit up. Honestly,
He sold it.
I don't think he had a choice.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Owens hit that some bitch and is like, "Fuck you."
Owens was in the zone tonight for sure.
Yeah, man. And I gotta admit, it was a mark out moment when that match ended. I'm like, please stun this motherfucker. Please stun this motherfucker. And when he stunned him,
when they were both standing in the ring together, you knew something was coming.
yeah. But I mean, I'm like, please stun him.
The only thing that was missing was the fucking, smashing the beers together first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a mark out moment, and probably the mark out moment of the night. If there was anything to really mark out for, it's this useless motherfucker getting stunned. So,
I mean, I'm not advocating for Kevin Owens to start smashing beers with people because I think that I mentioned it with Paige earlier this week. Like I would hate that. I'm just saying is like this was like.
Yeah, that's
For
Paige's
him
gimmick.
using the stunner was very Austin. Like the difference was he shook a hand, then kicked him and stunned him. Austin.
All right, Tony. Great pay-per-view tonight.
That's Paige's gimmick.
it
Can't be taking Paige's gimmick.
gets me
Oh,
every
dude.
time.
I'm telling you right now, if he starts pouring beers down his throat like Austin did, I'm gonna lose it.
Mhm.
All right, where are we headed at? I don't even remember what match.
Yeah,
was
what's
that?
after Zayn here?
Sheamus and Riddle. And
Oh, so you had the backstage spot first.
Yeah.
We should probably bring up with the Great Khali and Riddle, and then you get Rob Van Dam steps in with his papers.
like how fucking. I love how the Great Khali no sold Riddle.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand what he's saying.
Understand?
I don't
You're-
think either one of them understood each other.
You're an interpreter. You're a fucking interpreter. Dave Kapoor is his real name, but he walks off. He's left without an interpreter. Riddle sees him walking away and can't realize this motherfucker can't speak English and does not have an interpreter sitting there. Yet he's sitting there going, "What? You got nothing for me? Really, bro? Really?"
Anybody else want to see a tag team with RVD and Riddle?
Yeah.
I would.
But I mean, I would love to see it, but Van Dam's just too fucking old right now, man.
Could he be like a mentor situation?
I mean, maybe he could be his dealer.
That would be all right.
I mean, mentor, dealer, They could walk out of like a trailer with a cloud of smoke or something.
Bro,
I would actually, honestly, if they went all the way with it like that, I would love it. But the cock is not going to let him do that.
No.
All he's got to do is hand him a paper bag, bro. I went all the way to Columbia.
Dude, Jigsaw says to me, he goes, as soon as he hands him the papers, he goes, the cock must have hated that. I'm just like, it's so funny how everybody's onto this cock thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I know, it's great.
Oh man, we're smoking on the cock. Smoking cock.
Hey, speaking of the cock, is the Austin interview with Jericho, does that release tonight?
Yep,
I believe it's out.
They did like a little pre or post show, but as far as I know, it's probably airing right now. I have seen clips of it, and it's
Probably watch that before I go to bed. I'm actually interested in it.
It's not me too. It's nothing groundbreaking as far as he does go into AEW a lot. And once again, it's nothing that you haven't heard before. But the main problem of why he left was the match with Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens at that Mania where they were scheduled the main event. And Goldberg and whoever was around, Goldberg and Roman, I think it was, or somebody, bumped them out. And then they had their match.
No, I thought I don't think it was main eventing. I don't think he wanted to go second.
They were main eventing, and they were I think they were going to main event, and Goldberg bumped them out of the main event spot, but they never expected to go on second. When it got bumped, they're like, okay, we'll just be the co-main event. No, you're going on second. And then Vince hated the fucking match afterwards, which was Oh man. And then Vince hated the fucking match. So that prompted Jericho to be like, you know what?
So is this just a rehash of Jericho's WWE career? Because if that's it, I mean it's not going to do a lot for me.
A rehash of it, but the part where they talk about AEW and why he went to Japan and AEW is the same shit that you've heard from him.
Yeah, but I want to hear some others. I want to hear.
You want to hear
about
about Tony? That's what you want to hear about.
I want to hear. I want to hear about Tony. I want to hear. What he, I want to hear how, even like I heard, like I keep bringing up that Silver interview. Silver was very clear about how things kind of run over there.
Right.
And I'm kind of wondering if Jericho kind of would say like,
I still have not heard that Silver interview.
I mean, I could send it to you.
Yeah,
I'll give you the time. It's on a 2-hour podcast, but I know the time frame. I could send it to you.
Please do.
So just to be clear, it's not a wrestling podcast.
Oh, I know. It's
Robert Frank's podcast. He's a wrestling fan, so he had Silver on. So what I'll do is I'll send you the show and then I'll give you the time so you don't have to you can find it.
Does he really go into a lot of detail about how much of a clusterfuck it truly is in that place?
I mean, he doesn't use that word. I don't think he feels that way about it. We feel that way, but I don't think he does.
I know he's going to paint a bright picture of it, but to me, it probably.
But I think from his perspective, it probably isn't a clusterfuck because
he drew up the big plan with crayons.
I wonder if he signed a contract with Cran. But no, his main point is like they get paid. My biggest takeaway from that, which I haven't really talked about as much, is that they get paid a lot of money to work not so much, and they like that.
And
so
come back, and
I'm sure he's far from the only one on that roster that feels that way.
Meltzer seems to feel like that,
they were even bringing it to the point of, would you want to go to WWE? And he was like, well, I mean, I work a lot less and make good money, so why? I'm paraphrasing, but basically what he said.
You said they make good money, but Meltzer seems to think that there is some sort of paywall there, that there is going to be a point where Papa Kahn's gonna look at him and go, "Hey, you're spending too fucking much."
Papa Kahn.
Papa
Yeah,
Kahn.
maybe, but I mean, they're all in their initial contracts, so
You know
that's
what?
not going to change until you get to after the initial contract.
You know what song that's from, right?
Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. You need to recut that song, and if anybody could do it with your superior producing skills, it's you. And you need to
We'll see what
recut.
we can do there.
You need to recut it into Papa Khan, and then cut it in the Tony clips.
I'll see what I can do.
Papa Khan. Papa Khan. Papa Khan, all you got to do is love me, Papa Khan. Papa Khan. Papa Khan, I'll open up a Fed Con. Papa Khan, I'll open
That's
up a
great.
WrestleMania.
Shot.
Oh, shit.
Yo, so getting back to Riddle and Sheamus. Question for you guys, because Riddle's doing the bro, and he's basically a burnout backstage with his scooter. And then when he goes out to the ring, he's just his MMA self, right? Do you guys feel like that's like he's almost two different people? Because I think they need to decide and fix the in-ring to match what he's doing.
At the end of this match, when he's sitting there busted the fuck open, which I'm surprised they showed as much of it as they did.
The cock.
Dude, it's just WWE with blood in general. It has nothing to do with Peacock, I don't think.
I mean, what was their choice though?
True. But
I mean, if you want to show his reaction after losing, how do you not do it if he's? He obviously was legitimately bleeding.
This is why I think it was a legitimate receipt, because Sheamus is just laughing his ass off and smiling at him like, yeah, learn to work, motherfucker, or that's going to happen.
I mean, but he's also a heel, though.
Dude, no. That look that that look that he gave him was like, yeah, learn to fucking work, or this is going to keep happening to you.
Maybe. I mean,
Riddle put on boo-boo face, literally.
I can't read Sheamus's mind, to be honest with you.
I thought Riddle was gonna cry out there because he got buzzed. I'm like, dude, you were in the UFC for crying out loud.
I don't think he was gonna cry. I think he was reacting to losing as a character.
Yeah, I'm sure he's used to getting punched in the face.
I mean, he lost like his last 5 fights in the UFC before they cut him.
Well,
I mean, he's used to losing.
If that's the case, then he's no better than Bianca Belair crying before the match. He's a fucking.
Come on, that's not the same thing.
Come on, White.
This made Riddle look like a complete fucking pussy. It really did.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree.
Combined with this, he's a fucking geek. He's a pussy.
I think he's. I don't like the. Personally, I don't like the burnout thing. I don't like the flip flops and all that. And when I think about what the Undertaker was talking about with the video game dorks and everything else, like I think he's one of the guys that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, generally speaking, other than tonight, I've never really had a problem with his in-ring work. I do think he should put something on his feet. I've said it for a long time. But I mean, again, you're looking at he's a professional athlete. I think he had a bad night. I think he's reacting to losing a title at WrestleMania as a character. I didn't get the sense that Matt Riddle, the man, was crying or being upset. I don't know. I just didn't get that sense.
I did. You can look at it. He's sitting there with the blood, and he looked like a little fucking 5-year-old with a skinned knee.
And Nostradamus over here.
First of all, scumbag, okay?
Dassy.
You paid for that fucking shirt.
You paid to take that fucking picture,
No,
pal.
I didn't.
There it is. You paid to take that fucking picture.
Cody.
At least I know Cody Rhodes. You know nothing.
You.
I know Cody Rhodes.
You wanted it, White. You got it.
Oh, I set him up, and he knocks him down. That's great.
I know
This
Cody.
is what you want, girl.
This is what you want. Bro. I think that was to me.
Yes, it was.
Has he played these for White House yet? Because White House, we keep mentioning this episode of our From Pillar to Post to White House. But has White House heard these clips?
No.
No.
So here's the thing. He hasn't heard the episode yet. I keep telling him, but I was like, you need about 5 hours. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need 5. You probably got to start about 2 hours in, so you need at least 3.
No, you need the full 5 because you're going to have to keep pausing it from laughing so much.
Yeah. And I mean, all of our conversations intertwined, like All right, where are we match wise? We're moving on from Riddle and
Apollo versus
Shane.
Apollo defeated Big E, and I gotta say something here, AC. You were right. It wasn't dashikis with men in dashikis with spears banging drums.
I mean, you were convinced the whole country of fucking what is he? Ghanaian? What Ghana? What is that? Where is he from?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. It's same difference.
That's a lawsuit.
I mean, he thought the whole country of
Goddamn, pal.
Nigeria was gonna like Vince flew the whole country over to like walk down to the ring with him. And here's the funnier part. Big E got the bigger entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you right now, Wale was totally lip syncing because there was one point where his DJ was yelling into the microphone and nothing was coming out.
But you know what, though? That was the best musical performance on the show. Probably the best one that they've had at any pay-per-view in a long time.
It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't bad, but I think he was lip syncing.
You know, I like the song too.
No, and I was happy Big E got that spot.
Me too.
I'm hoping that for Big E personally, that this is like, remember when Lashley lost the US title, and then he kind of got elevated afterwards. Like I'm hoping Big E losing this means they're gonna elevate him, not disappear him.
It's either him or Cesaro. One of those two have to be the next one to face Roman.
Okay, I think Cesaro faces Roman, and I think Big E goes straight to New Day.
Ooh, really?
Right back into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You think this is it for Big E's big singles push, though?
I do. Not that I want to see that, but I think that's what's going to happen.
I said it at the beginning of the year. If there's anybody that deserved to win the Rumble this year, it was Big E.
Right.
Don't you think there's more to Edge and Roman, though?
No. Edge is going away for a while.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, White.
Okay.
He's a part-timer.
And I mean, and really, there's another guy in this roster that probably could use a run with Roman more than anyone right now is probably McIntyre. I know they're on different shows now, but I'm sure they're gonna have a draft or something soon.
Is the U.S. title on Raw or SmackDown?
U.S. title.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing McIntyre chase Sheamus.
It has to be on Raw because Sheamus won it, and Sheamus is on Raw.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I wouldn't mind seeing Drew go with Sheamus
for the U.S.
Yeah, because I love that match last month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had two good ones
at the pay-per-view. There was one, right? That's it, bro.
Oh,
you
no,
gotta remember, I'm only
Sheamus,
the pay-per-view guy.
Okay.
Now
so here's the thing. I watched 2 episodes of Raw and the 2 pay-per-views, and I saw Sheamus and Drew twice.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they both were good.
Out of this Big E Apollo thing, you said Big E goes right there to back to the New Day. Cesaro faces Roman. Where does Apollo go? He's a heel. Who fights him for the damn title? Owens, maybe?
You know what? That could be good.
That could be good.
With his big, bodyguard he got now.
Yeah, somebody put it on there that they that is Maki Ito, or no, not Maki Ito. Oh fuck, what's his name? Dabba-Kato. There it is. Sorry, see they sound.
Oh, was he the dude from Raw Underground?
Exact. Yep, that's him.
Okay.
See, I didn't see any of those.
The guy who's been there since 2016 in developmental, never had a match on NXT, I don't think, and now he's on the main roster, and he's just like Omos is, where he's gonna get in there and work as little as fucking possible, and they're gonna hide his ass.
That worries me for Omos too, that they're doing it with another guy. Because they're not taking those guys serious.
You know what? They're both on fucking SmackDown too.
Yes. Yep. Very similar.
Yep.
And they're both, the heavy for another guy, basically.
Yep.
So.
Somebody on Twitter, my friend Michael Melton, he put out there, he said, Dabba-Kato looks like he just got off his guest starring stint on the Love Boat. That fucking outfit.
Oh, with the jacket. I see. Yeah.
He has a name too. He has a name. They are calling him Commander Aziz. is what they're calling him.
Bastard Aziz.
Azeez.
Did you guys ever see what the fuck was that Arnold movie? True Lies.
Yep.
You remember True
So-
Lies when we're on like one of the one of the Florida Keys islands with the nuclear bomb, and the guy's trying to tape the video to say we will blow up U.S. cities, blah blah blah, and the fucking batteries dying from the camera, and the guy's sweating, and the camera turns off, and he's like, Bastard Aziz, Bastard Aziz.
Get a new one. He's like, I think I got
Get another one, you moron.
And he's like, I think I got another. And the guy shushes him. He's like, I love that fucking movie.
That fucking guy thought he was gonna get shot. He's like, oh fuck, the battery's running out, the sweat's coming out. He's like, oh, Bastard Aziz.
Yeah, but the Aziz, the main villain in that thing was, I think his name was Salim Abu Aziz. Was his bad guy's name. I love that fucking movie though.
Very good movie.
Fucking Jamie Lee Curtis when she's fucking stripping is probably the worst thing in ever.
Yeah.
God damn it.
As long as you're stripping, pal, it's all that.
Then we got
I'm a secret agent, pal. Yeah.
I'm your genetic jackhammer.
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have her stripping, and then from out of nowhere, Commander Aziz is gonna come up and choke slam her.
Goddamn, pal.
Can't say choke. No.
But nah, he's
He did choke slam him, and they said choke. I was surprised.
people have said Commander Aziz, but WWE did not say this guy's name. They don't know. They're like, who is this guy? Why does some random guy get to jump the fucking barriers and just come in there and choke slam somebody?
Well,
but
he had a military shirt on.
Yeah, he had the coat on.
But no, then they referred to him as a superstar. So what the fuck? You know, but then again, if it was fucking AEW, we'd know this guy's mother's name, his shoe size, and everything out of the mouth.
Well, I mean, he would have
You
been in
grew
a
up the big
7-man
plan with
fact.
crayons.
That's what you would have got.
Excalibur would have
He
told.
would have been another member of QT Marshall's faction.
Yeah.
Although I do like the Motor Royal guy.
You know what kills me is that guy,
Kinda like
Tell
the
me
British
he doesn't
guy.
look just like the guy on.
He
fucking-
does. You're dead on with that.
And the British boxer's good too, but
Yeah.
it's just too many guys. But I want to see those guys too. It's,
the
pisses
big
you
guy,
off.
the big guy who was in the white coat that first day. Then when they attacked him, I can't remember his damn name. It's not Anthony Ogogo. It's not the other one. I can't remember the third guy's name. But I love how they're like, he's members of the Nightmare Academy. They're the wrestling school. And then you look at this guy's Twitter page and he's like, I got 12 years of pro wrestling experience under me.
Yeah.
So they need to get there. But he does.
So is there any chance that they open Dynamite with Max Caster again and he makes fun of Mandy Rose for slipping on the ramp?
It's very possible.
Either
Very
that,
possible.
they just have.
I don't really like when they troll WWE, but Max Caster's so good at it. I'll give him a best.
No, what they should do is they should have carpet everywhere, like AstroTurf. They got to plunge AstroTurf. They should put down fucking carpet or AstroTurf everywhere, all over those.
Well, I mean, they have a football stadium they only use once a year, so.
yeah, I mean that's. But what I'm saying is, since Tony Khan, bright idea for carpet, we'll just lay carpet down everywhere. The ramp, the tunnel.
All right, let's take a poll here. Over or under on that actually being Khan's idea, not like some fucking janitor's idea.
Oh, that's Khan's just stupid ass idea. That's out of the mouth of Khan right there, man.
I mean, he said he thought of it, but who knows? Some janitor could be like, "We'll just lay down carpet," and be like, "Okay, go do it."
For y'all's show going forward, Edwards needs to pull the clip of William Shatner going, Khan.
Ah, yes, I do. I'm on it.
I'm on it. I'll have it for this week.
Yes. You'll hear that Wednesday.
Every time something bad happens, Khan. Hey, that's a WWE Hall of Famer right there.
That's right.
Who isn't at this point?
Khan.
He is in his own mind.
Yeah, well, he's in Meltzer's Hall of Fame probably. First ballot.
Right. He was in Meltzer's Hall of Fame after Double or Nothing, the first show they ever ran.
But this Nigerian, what did they even use a single drum?
I mean, they hit each other with drums, but they didn't really play them.
Oh, okay.
Well, like Big E threw him into the drums.
I was full.
And then he tried to hit him with the gong, but he didn't get it.
I was full on expecting something out of the set of Black Panther the movie with fucking drums banging and people dancing like
they fucked each other up with kendo sticks.
I mean, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. In the Nigerian drum fight, they fucked up each other with kendo sticks. I mean, this could have been
that like side suplex that Big E did to Cruz on the stairs was pretty fucking stiff.
I mean, they worked their asses off in this match.
I gotta say, the two nights overall, especially tonight, was pretty damn stiff. I mean, there was a lot of
okay, fucking Riddle and Sheamus had problems with me. I think that's why Sheamus finally is like, fuck it, and started laying it in on his ass.
There was a lot of stiffy pal, yeah.
Stiff and hard, yeah.
It's like we like it. It's hard. Stiff.
Linda still likes it. Linda still likes it.
I'm your genetic jackhammer.
Vinnie Mac.
Pet the pussycat.
Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Rhea Ripley. I messaged AC. The chick who I gotta admit something here. And y'all are gonna laugh.
Oh boy.
We get deep into the mind of Joe White here.
Oh, here we go.
That's fucking scary.
Big, okay?
I know your game, Joe White.
There's something about when a woman puts on black lipstick, it just does things to me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you like that goth look, yeah.
Oh yes,
Nice.
You know, the woman who sang Rhea to the ring had the black lipstick, the goth look. I'm like, damn, she's kind of hot. She opened her mouth and started singing, and I'm like, no, God, please.
He literally messaged me. He goes, "She was great until she opened her mouth."
Kahn. I mean, we got Kahn by watching this woman. Golly, I mean, she was nice, and then she opened her fucking mouth, and I'm like, oh, the voice. Ripley, and there was parts in this match where they were laying it in, and then there were other parts in this match where the fucking punches looked weak as shit. Like they were barely hitting in the camera, you know, especially on the ground and pound stuff by Rhea Ripley to Asuka, and even Asuka to Ripley. 1 minute they're doing the ground and pound and it looks stiff as fuck. The next minute they're like, you could tell they're tip-tapping each other, you know? And but overall, they went 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I liked this match. It told a decent story. I felt like it dragged on a bit. And maybe that was because I knew the main event was next, and I'm just like, come on, get on with it, you know? But I'm glad to see Rhea Ripley get it. What they do with her after this is beyond me, unless Becky's coming back tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with her. Because Flair's not going to be back for a while, right? Here's the only thing, and I hate to look at it this way.
Oh, wait a minute.
I thought the match was good, but I just feel like her bar was set very high with Flair last year. So it was almost like it was good, but you almost expected it to be a little bit better.
Why isn't Flair coming back? Because of Andrade?
No, I thought she's filming a movie or some shit.
Oh yeah,
isn't that why she? Because wasn't she was initially supposed to face Asuka, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you guys hear the story Andrade told to some?
Oh yeah, they thought she was pregnant. WWE's own doctors did a blood test and said she was pregnant when she wasn't. And
really?
That's why. That's why she disappeared from TV for the first half of the.
Oh, I thought she was filming a movie. Maybe.
Well, that's what White House told us, but
she's doing a movie also.
Did White House say that?
Yeah,
I'm sure he read it on some dirt shit.
No, Meltzer said she's doing the movie, but they also did that. You know, they also had a false pregnancy thing come back, and that's why they took her off TV when they did, because she was supposed to go do the movie after WrestleMania.
Ah, okay.
And then Andrade gets fucking released, who is her husband. So that has a lot to do with it. Hell, I'm surprised Lana's even still there, not in AEW right now. But then again, she's probably under contract. So
contract.
Kahn.
It's going to be interesting to see if they do a future endeavor coming out of Mania this year. because they released so many people
Yeah, they usually
last
do.
year.
Yep. Yep.
But then again, I don't think they're going to do it. If they do, it'll be people we haven't seen on TV for months that they really don't care. But
But I mean, here's the other thing. You know, they're going to release people. Let's just assume they do. And everyone's going to be like, "Oh, AEW should pick them up." Why? Why don't they do something with the fucking people they have?
because they,
You know, why not let some of these people go to Ring of Honor and Impact? Because they need the roster help more than AEW.
All right, Tony. Great pay-per-view tonight.
That's why. That's why they need him.
Yeah,
you just need a.
it's got to have his surprises.
You need a soundbite of when somebody asks him a question that he really doesn't like, he just stammers. Have you noticed that shit?
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna go play EverQuest. Goodbye.
It's rare though. It's rare that anybody asks him a question that.
Oh, and when they do, it's an insult. Don't insult him 6 or 7 times with one.
And here's the thing, like I made the point to you last night. If you're going to be Tony Khan and you're going to do all these press conferences and you want everybody to suck your ass and you're going to be Booker of the Year and go on Meltzer's show, you got to expect that when things don't go well, you're going to get the other side of it.
Well, it makes me wonder what he thinks about Meltzer now, because Meltzer's ripped him a new one this week twice. So,
well, I mean, listen, I did all the ratings. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yep, I told you so.
So AC, I got a question for you.
Yes.
And I only bring this up to you because you put it in my head the other day, or yesterday, about Damian Priest. And you said, whatever his gimmick is, like I agreed with you, he kind of looked like a diva with the purple. You know, he's
it was
in the
just
purple
surprising.
now. He's kind of, yeah. And you mentioned, whatever, like devil worship, badass, darker, whatever. And then I saw Rhea Ripley tonight. And then I was thinking about NXT and Triple H. And then I started thinking about Aleister Black. And then I started thinking about the original Baron Corbin. And I think my problem with Rhea Ripley is I like her, but it's Triple H, bro. Like, are we always going to get somebody out of NXT that is the same that Triple H created? And they're in red, black, and silver, and it's dark, and it's like candles and weird red pyro.
Yeah, because
Are you guys noticing that this is becoming a...
I listen to Motorhead and...
right, yeah. It's that whole metal thing.
It's the whole metal thing. It's why they have... how many times have NXT had rappers do their theme songs for takeovers, and WWE hardly ever uses rock and roll for their pay-per-view themes? It's Triple H is a rock kind of guy.
Right, yeah.
That kind of shit,
So are we getting to a point with NXT where this is becoming a problem? That's why I bring it up.
Right now, I don't know if there's anybody on in it. Well, what's his fucking face? The guy who just won the belt. It's not Cage. Who the fuck is it?
Oh, Karrion Kross.
Kross, yeah.
Killer Kross from TNA. Yeah, the TNA guy.
He's got the fucking voodoo gimmick,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's another one. Yeah, he fits right into that
difference. The one thing I agree with you, and I hadn't considered it when I made the comment. So maybe you're onto something. I was more looking at Punishment Martinez, Ring of Honor,
okay,
as opposed to Damian Priest from NXT, because I haven't watched a lot of NXT. Where I do think he was darker on NXT. I'm not saying he wasn't, in the few times I did see him, but I was going back legitimately to Punishment Martinez, and I was like, I don't really think Punishment Martinez would wear purple in his hair. But at the same time, I haven't really seen a lot of this Priest either. So now that the Bad Bunny thing is over, maybe they're going to do something with him I like too.
I totally see where Edwards is coming from, because look at it. You got Cross, you got fucking Shotzi Blackheart and fucking Ember Moon dressed in black leather, running around on a gothic looking big wheels.
They did it with Eric Young's group there too.
You got fucking you got fucking Tony Storm, who's
Ascension.
wearing
Ascension. Yeah, there's another one.
You got Tony Storm, who is kind of treading down that route with the way she dresses. Maybe he's got a fucking leather biker fetish. I don't know, but you definitely could see that.
Yeah, you're definitely onto something. Honestly, you can almost see it a little bit with Balor. Balor's going more, you know what I mean? Like his in this match with Cross. he had the red paint, and you know what I mean. I don't really. I listen to me. If you in this match, this is the perfect time to bring in a demon, but they don't seem to. I don't know if he doesn't want to do it or the company doesn't want to do it or what.
Balor doesn't want it. He's he said in interviews just this week before
So he wants to be a boring guy. Okay, have fun.
He wants to be the prince. He doesn't want to be. He wants
Prince of what?
He wants to be Prince Devitt. I know he's not your favorite guy, AC. You've always.
I mean, when he was Prince Devitt, he fucking dressed up.
Yeah, he did the paint. That was what was cool about him. You know, that's the gimmick.
I'm not saying he has to be the demon every match, but when he was Prince, I mean, the whole idea, this demon character that they brought over was a play from him when he was Prince Devitt, painting himself and dressing up as different people, right? I mean, what am I missing?
Here's the thing too. It's kind of a pain, and that documentary that they did before he went to WWE years back, it took him, he had to get to the building about 5 hours early just to apply that fucking paint.
Sure. So I mean, I'm not. I would do it twice a year. I'm not saying do it every fucking show.
And, can you really blame the guy for trying to reinvent himself a little bit?
Listen, I don't blame anybody for trying to get better or have a gimmick or whatever else, but he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he walks out with a fucking jacket and his collar popped, and he's Virgo. What the fuck is his name now?
Fergal Fonzie.
Yeah, Fergal Fonzie Devitt. What the hell, Finzie Balor, whatever you want to call him.
Finzie.
Oh, Fonzie Devitt is great.
I mean, I used to call him Fragile Devitt because he always got hurt, but now that he's not getting hurt, well,
Hey,
yeah, I think Stames came up with that Finzie.
Yeah, he did. I think so.
Reminds me of and this was one of the greatest O&A bits ever. It reminds me of the fucking episode of Happy Days where the World War II buddy just happened to be a black guy, and he wants to have the wedding. They're essentially having a black wedding at the fucking Cunningham house, and all the people in the neighborhood are boycotting the wedding, and it's just a whole race issue throughout the thing. So every time you mention fucking Fonzie now, I'm reminded of that episode of Happy Days.
And the interesting part too is like, okay, so you want to be, I mean, wear your black tights and everything else and look like a, young lion, whatever you want to do. But certainly, I just feel like he's in this. This is just my perspective of Balor. He's in this area where there's really not a lot of characters, not a lot of fun. Yes, he does have good matches at times, of course. When he has the right dance partners, obviously his matches are good. It just doesn't work for me. If other people like him, that's fine. But he's not the only one. Like I was talking about this with Jim tonight. We were talking about Ricochet because you haven't heard a thing about Ricochet since probably the Royal Rumble. But I don't think Ricochet is right for WWE. I don't even know if he's right for AEW. Ricochet to me is like, and I think, and the reason I bring it up because I think Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor, whatever you want to call him, works better in New Japan. I think a guy like Ricochet works better in New Japan, where you don't necessarily have to have much of a character. You're just there to put on a performance and, you know what I mean, and have these matches where you're using your athleticism and everything else. So Ricochet is one of those guys you wonder if they're going to release him. And I'm sure AEW will gobble him up in 5 seconds, but do nothing with him. And Balor, I mean, okay, he's having good matches in NXT, but when I look across and see the Adam Coles of the world, I'm like, I mean, I'd rather watch Adam Cole.
I can see it now. Right. The plans on Tony Khan's desk written in crayon, and Ricochet is misspelled, and the R's.
He drew up the big plan with crayons.
Exactly, Tony. Got to draw up those big plans. And you can't use Crayolas. The big fat Rose Art dollar store crayons. Those are the ones that get you over, my pal.
I mean, they're easier to use.
Yeah, man. You got to grip them, with that silver. He's got to hold the silver spoon in one hand and the fucking crayon in the other. And he's got to have an easel. And where he's spelling Ricochet, but it's spelled fucking backwards. Get on this, Edwards. I know you can make a mean.
It'll be perfect. Every time Pac has his 2 weeks off, they don't have to use the Laredo Kid anymore. They could just bring Ricochet back, put a mask on him, and call him Prince Ricochet, and he could be the third member of Triangle de la Muerte when Pac is on his hiatus.
There you go. Yeah.
All those trademarks to Lucha Underground. I wonder who owns all that shit. Could he go back to being Prince Puma?
Here's the thing. I don't think it's crazy that it would. I think it would work. But if he did it in WWE, Vince would just throw him in that Lucha House Party.
Right. Yeah.
So Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. What did you guys think of this? We got the Ripley thing, the Triple H fetish with her.
I mean, like I said, I think the match was good. I don't think it was great. I think she set the bar pretty high last year, and this was a good match. I wasn't really blown away. But she has a title now. I think this is more of a. I don't want to call Asuka a stepping stone, but it's almost like a stepping stone match type of thing.
Where does Asuka go from here?
Where she always is. I mean, this is kind of her spot, right? I mean, has the title sometimes, doesn't have it other times. I mean, it was really cool when she was on that undefeated run, but since she's lost, this is kind of where she's at now.
Yeah, I mean the video package that they played for this.
Whatever happened to the Kabuki Warriors?
Yeah.
Kabuki.
Well, Kairi Sane is gone back to Japan. So,
well, can we use like Yoshirai and Asuka and read like Kabuki Warriors Part 2?
They look the same.
Right? They're the same person.
Kabuki. Is that where they do it on the woman's face? No, that's Bukkake, Vince. Oh.
Christ.
Goddamn, pal.
I can't breathe.
That's my favorite kind of porn. No, not Kabuki.
I didn't.
Oh.
We're off the rails.
That's Bukkake, Vince.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right on her face. Ah. Goddamn, pal.
Kairo, whatever. They're all the same. Bukkake me, yeah.
You're not
Karate chop.
You're not ready for Asuka all over your face.
Give me a massage like Deshaun Watson, yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
Speak of Bukkake.
Bukkake massage.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Rhea
Mushroom
Ripley,
stamps on foreheads and shit.
Rhea Ripley, now, where does she fucking
Way
go?
off the rails.
I'm trying to get us back on. Where does Rhea Ripley go from here? She just through the gym? Get it together, pal.
I'm your genetic jackhammer.
Rhea Ripley.
Where does she go now? I mean, what the fuck does she do? Fight
Sasha.
But Sasha's on SmackDown.
Bailey.
I think tomorrow night on Raw, you fucking have her talking about
Bailey attack her. Yeah, I'm with Edwards.
attack her, but Bailey's on SmackDown too, isn't she?
She
Oh, is she?
is. Do you get a Becky return tomorrow?
That's what I'm saying. The only person there's only two people that could come out that I could think of.
Is the man gonna come back?
I was thinking. Well, I mean,
In
there's
the man truck.
There's two people that could come back, and either one of them have to win, which totally deflates Rhea Ripley and totally.
Charlotte or Becky.
No. You either have Becky come back, or Ronda Rousey comes out. One of those two.
That's gonna happen.
It probably will be. Third one is Charlotte, but any of those three, they have to win. There's no way. Rhea Ripley, if she ends
Do
up,
they have to win?
if Rhea Ripley beats any one of those three, then it makes the return.
Well, if
look
it's Ronda
easy.
Rousey, she has to win, but I don't think it's gonna be Ronda. So
But-
take her out.
I mean, if Rhea Ripley beats any of those three, it makes their return seem like shit and totally deflates them. But if Rhea
But,
Ripley,
I mean, why does everybody have to return and like win a title?
Yeah, but this is what I'm with you, White. Like this is like what
It's
they
so-
do. Bianca Belair has the other title.
Yep.
So I'm sure both of them will lose the title to Ronda and Becky or whatever, vice versa. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, is there big rumors about Ronda coming back?
and I think Charlotte's on SmackDown anyway.
I was reading she was speculated for tonight with Becky.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
I was- yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing they're going to give you some surprise tomorrow, right?
There were rumors going around that Becky was supposed to return tonight and attack Bailey because Bailey was all doing the ding dong hello. I'm not on.
Well, I mean, they needed the Bellas to do something apparently.
Man, The divas, you mean? The divas. They're not fucking women's wrestlers, guys. They're divas. There's a clear distinction now since the whole quote unquote.
According to them, they led the revolution.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole quote unquote since the whole revolution started, or has peaked or whatever. That revolution clearly did draw a line in the sand between what is a diva and what is a woman's wrestler.
Yeah, I agree.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, diva. Lana, diva. Mandy Rose, diva. The Bellas, diva. Everybody else on there, women's fucking wrestlers.
Oh yeah, Carmella, wrestler.
Carmella, diva.
She's a wrestler.
Gosh.
Carmella could do it all. Yeah.
She's whatever I say she is, pal.
Although I did text last night. I was like, can we have like a bikini pillow fight between Lana and Carmella instead of this match? I mean, could we? Why don't they just have like the women's division where like the serious wrestlers are, and then bring back the divas division for the divas?
I mean,
I think you could do
I'd
both.
be
I mean,
okay
the cock might not like it, but my cock likes. I mean, my eyes like it.
Cocky.
Bukaki cock, yeah.
Bukkake Warriors.
Yeah.
The Bukkake Warrior. No, Kabuki. Oh, I don't.
Goddamn.
You,
botched that one,
there's
didn't I?
no way Vince came up with. There's no way he came up with Kabuki Warriors on his
No,
own.
that's a Bruce Pritchard thing, man. That's a Bruce Pritchard.
I mean, there's no way Vince was like on Google, like,
I
what do
mean-
you call Japanese warriors? Kabuki.
I thought we were supposed to call them Asian Americans.
You keep changing it on me. I can't keep it straight,
Keep
Stephanie.
it straight, goddamn pal.
God damn.
Just pick one and stick with it.
I mean, he went 25 years without having a black champion, and now he's like fucking every title he has.
There was a time where I called them foreigners, pal. And you went and changed that on me. I'm all confused.
And it wasn't the musical group.
I used to like Foreigner. You can't say that. What? They're goddamn. I love their music.
Remember when I had that guy from Iran, pal, with the spiky boots?
Oh, yeah. Cheeky, baby. Yeah.
He'd break your back, make you humble.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, goddamn.
All right.
All I want to do is watch some people bukkake while I sing. I want to know what love is.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what love is. Goddamn pal.
I want you to show me.
Goddamn, pal.
Yeah,
All
show
over my face.
my
Bukkake.
Goddamn, pal.
Trish in the shower.
Yeah. Japanese girls. Yeah.
Goddamn, pal.
And as,
Hey, Hunter, get that asshole Kahn on the phone.
and as
Want
Vince,
to trade for Sheeta.
I just want to feel your ass while I play. It feels like the first time.
Oh, yeah. The very first time.
Yes, people. I actually Googled Foreigner song. You're welcome.
White's reading a list right now.
I mean, where do you go from here? There's nobody on that women's roster that now they could legitimately have face Rhea Ripley.
See, this is where we need White House because he's like the fucking WWE women's roster, like, savant. He knows
that's
like
true.
all of them.
I mean, I got the list right here.
I mean, he's like never right about what they're gonna do, but he knows them all.
I got the list right here in front of me for Raw. There's nobody on this list. Dana Brooke, no. Lacey Evans, no. Unless they're going to go there.
Isn't she knocked up?
Yep. Lana, no. Mandy Rose, no. Mickey James, fuck no. Naomi,
Is Mickey James still on the roster?
she did
Yeah.
the fucking pre-show.
Yeah, she was on the post show too last night.
Yeah, and the dress she wore at the NXT pre-show.
Holy shit, I didn't even know that.
Naomi, maybe, but she's in that fucking tag team, I think, right now with what's her face. Nia Jax, no. Nikki Cross, maybe, because she hasn't been seen in a while. You could legitimately fucking make a star.
If you get the titles off, couldn't you do Shayna?
Yeah, if you get the
Shayna
title,
and Ripley?
you can't. But they're not going to take the titles off them anytime soon because they just won.
Guys, I think we're overthinking this. Backlash, return bouts.
Oh,
Sasha and fucking
Yeah,
Asuka.
yeah. You're probably right.
You're calling the show Wrestle. Well, like you said, now that Edwards has said it, it makes sense from a Vince perspective.
Right.
The show is now called WrestleMania Backlash. Why not just do all fucking rematches?
I mean, it sounds like. I mean, honestly, it sounds like that's what we're gonna get here. I mean, you're probably gonna get fucking Sheamus and Riddle too. You kicked my teeth out or something. You know what I mean?
Ah, man.
Yep. I could see it.
What's
next?
That was it.
That
I
was
mean,
it?
well, the main event.
And then the main event. Yeah.
Then the main event. I mean, I liked the main event. It was storytelling 101. They did a good job telling stories here.
Mm-hmm.
And the booking was good. Roman pinning both of them. It's like, okay, neither one of these guys can have a fucking rematch now. Daniel Bryan's probably not.
Well, I mean, when he faced the head of the table, this is what happens to you.
He got booed tonight. A lot of people booed his ass. I'll give him credit.
He's supposed to get booed, right?
Exactly. I love to hate the motherfucker.
Right, and there was a spot where Bryan was out on the outside of the ring. It was just him and Edge in there, and this is why I want it to be a singles match, where there was the entire crowd was behind Edge.
Yep.
And Roman was a clear heel, and that doesn't happen a lot in wrestling anymore.
I mean, it definitely wasn't like fucking where they turned on McIntyre. There were a smattering of cheers from the women in the crowd for Roman, but the men were booing his ass tonight. So and good, it proves WWE and people like John Cena wrong when they go, "Why do you want me to turn heel for so you can cheer me?" No, so boo you out, fucker.
How dare you?
Goddamn pal.
That guy is a legend.
Ledge, goat. Goat Cena.
I mean, Edge turning heel, I think they went the wrong way of turning him heel in this program. Hated it then, hated it now because he acted like a total babyface in this match. The Concerto thing was good. Daniel Bryan was awesome in this match.
He was. I just think it was a lot. Yeah, Daniel Bryan was good. I don't think he should have been in the match, but he was really good in it. But I also think they were really going for that nostalgic WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan in a three-way again. And it just seemed like this was Edge versus Roman, and he was the third wheel.
He was there, like I told you last night. Whenever they put a third wheel in like that, that only reason why.
But what you didn't know is Roman was going to pin both of those motherfuckers.
I mean, true. He dragged Edge on top of Daniel Bryan, didn't he?
Did you think they did too much Jey Uso interference?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so too. I like Jey, and I like the idea that he's behind Roman now, but honestly, if there was going to be a secondary interference, and I'd rather it have been Jimmy than Jey, where like it was like a Jimmy return. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When Jey came out the second time, I was like, this is kind of overkill.
And Paul Heyman coming out with that lay around his neck, all I wanted to do was hog tie him and put an apple in his mouth.
Dude, I don't know if he's just brilliant or they told him where to stand, but in every big spot in this match, his face was in the background, and it was amazing.
Yep. He's awesome.
So good.
You guys agree it's time for Daniel Bryan to move on now?
Yeah, I think people have had their fill.
Yeah.
He had his great run. It's terrible that it got derailed by injury, but it did. Then he came back. He had the nice moment. I thought his heel run with the wood belt was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought they went away from it a little quick, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know. I think maybe he wasn't even that bad in that general manager role. Maybe there's something else for him to do. But I think this might have been the swan song.
I was surprised that he re-signed when he did. Because remember, everybody was speculating on his contract.
Yeah, that he would travel a little bit. Yeah.
His contract's coming up, so WWE won't clear him. Maybe he'll go somewhere else and get cleared and pop up for, Ring of Honor or New Japan, somewhere like that.
Well, that was the big rumor that he was putting pressure on them behind the scenes that he could go elsewhere.
Yeah, and good
his prognosis.
Good for him for doing it. That's probably why he re-signed, because he squoze Vince for every damn drop, just like
Well,
Bukkake.
I mean, if you have a procedure or whatever,
Vince Bukkake'd money all over Daniel Bryan's face.
Yes, he did.
I mean, I'm sure Vince didn't go broke doing that though.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, the
You
billion
know, and
dollar
you have
cock.
the same kind of scenario with Edge also.
Say that again, Edwards.
He has the $1 billion cock now.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Genetic jackhammer. Play it, Edward.
Genetic jackhammer.
I'm your genetic jackhammer.
Hey, listen, I got $1 billion cock like Dana White, pal. Yeah.
Oh man. But no, that night 1 was definitely better than night 2 of this whole thing.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think night 1 was better overall. But I liked the ending of night 2 better. Like I like the main event better.
I'm with you.
I think that where they go with Reigns from here, I don't want to see Edge anymore, and I don't want to see Bryan anymore. At least not for a while.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
have Edge and Bryan split off and do their own thing, fuck yeah, give me an Edge versus Daniel Bryan singles match any day of the goddamn week. I would pay to see that, but I don't want to see those two in the title picture anymore.
I would rather have Roman come out and be like, you have nobody to challenge me.
There's
like
no,
if you want to challenge me, you got to go through my cousin. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to put my cousin in the Money in the Bank match. You know what I mean? Like, I think that might be, what they do with it. And then, just initially, and then maybe wait for some kind of restructuring or, I mean, who really does? I think you're almost in that problem now. Like, who does challenge him?
here we go. I got an idea. They're not
Title
going
versus
to go.
title?
They're probably not going to go this way. But Daniel Bryan, not Daniel Bryan. Finn Balor just got his ass handed to him. Roman comes out. There's nobody left.
Karrion Kross?
Roman comes out and goes, I've beaten everybody else. And then finally fucking Finn Balor comes back and goes, remember when that title was very first introduced? I beat you for that title? And then it was taken from me? You never beat me for that fucking belt.
I mean, as long as Roman kicks the shit out of him in the end, I'll live with it.
I mean, there's your next feud right there, and it makes sense. But then also it makes.
I mean, I wouldn't. That's actually not that bad, to be honest with you. I'm not.
Then it becomes the thing of, oh well, people could just flip flop between NXT, but a person like Balor could get away with that.
Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like this technicality. Vince could come out again and be like, you could have 5 guys from each company go to any show they want again, pal. Like he did last time, and it made no sense. But he just came, you wild card, pal. You know,
another one that I would
you know what I mean? It's fucking pro wrestling. They can do whatever they want.
Another one that I would pay to see is fucking. He's out there. I've ran over everybody. Now, granted, this guy said he doesn't want to leave NXT, but what if you fucking have him do that and all of a sudden you hear no one will survive and fucking Ciampa comes out, man. Ciampa versus Roman? That's funny.
Fart in church.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think that would be a bad match?
No. I think the match would be good. I mean,
Match would be fine.
I don't. Does Ciampa have enough of a name to challenge Roman?
Well, yeah, I see what Edwards is saying. Is that nobody's going to know who he is?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
But and the other
to
thing,
your point, there's nobody left. He ran through everybody.
How can they? And they're horrible at making a star. Here's a chance to make a new fucking star now. Roman has ran through everybody.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't know that they're going to go this way with Drew, and I don't even know that they should. But if they really wanted to make Drew and they really wanted him to be like their top guy for a run, they should get him to SmackDown and have him face Reigns now.
Yeah, or at least save that for SummerSlam.
I mean, all right. So, I mean, I'm not saying the match has to happen now, but you got to get him there. You have to start the process. I don't know. Maybe fucking Drew wins Money in the Bank. And he says, I'm not going to be one of these guys who cashes in when you're down on the ground. I'll cash in on you on SummerSlam.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I see Drew going.
I like Drew. I like Reigns better. But I'm just if you're trying to give if you want me to give you a guy, I mean he kind of fits it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
more than Ciampa. And I love Ciampa. I'm just saying, like, that makes more sense.
This is a prime opportunity to make.
Or like you said, maybe you shoot Cesaro in there and see what happens. For now, anyway.
Yeah, this is a prime. You've set yourself up with two different. You've set yourself up with Big E. You set yourself up with Cesaro. There's people at NXT that you could bring up. Any one of those guys.
He's a good one,
too. There's anybody that could go up against Roman now and beat him.
All right, I got it. They said it wasn't going to happen by Mania, but they said Cena was coming back. Do you run Cena at Roman? And even if Roman beats him, but that gets you through a few months.
No.
Why not?
Because this is your chance to make somebody new.
No. I'm not. I'm saying you, but you don't. But here's the thing: you want to make somebody new, but you can't come up with the guy they're going to do it with. I'm talking about running Cena at him to move through these next few months.
But what do you
even do it at SummerSlam?
What do you do after that, though? That's the problem.
No. What you do, but it's what you do between now and then is important. That's where you build the guy up to take him on next. Because we're all sitting here right now, and we can't even come up with the perfect guy, right? So what do you need? You need time, and you need to build that perfect guy.
There's several possibilities of who could be that perfect guy. What I'm saying is, are they going to do it? No.
I don't think there is several possibilities. I think the overall problem is I don't think they have the guy.
Well, I just gave you. Well, here's the problem, though, AC. I just gave you at least 4 people: Cesaro, Big E, Ciampa, Balor. They could bring back, because how can we miss Balor if he doesn't go away?
You're gonna get good programs. I get it. You're gonna have good matches with any one of those guys. But do you really think any one of those guys is going to be mega superstar?
If they push them the right way and treat them the right way, yes. But
no, I don't think so.
Do it. You would not buy Cesaro as a top guy.
You're telling me that any one of those guys they're going to want to send to like Good Morning America and do all this press like they do with Reigns. You're telling me any one of those guys would be bigger than him doing it?
They're not doing it now. He's a heel.
Well, they're not doing any of that shit now because of coronavirus. But I mean, they were the last. Okay, hold on. The last big WrestleMania they did, their lead guy with the press was Reigns.
That's because he was a babyface.
And no, because he's their biggest star, and he still is.
But dude, that's the point. You can build a guy up to send him over there to Good Morning
America. When you're doing interviews on Good Morning America, they don't know that you're a fucking heel or not. Nobody even watching the show knows. You know what I mean? Like you're just a WWE guy.
Just going off of these people don't have the look. Cesaro could go on Good Morning America. Balor could. Fucking Big E could definitely go on there and make a good showing of himself.
They probably could, but I mean, at this point, I mean, we know Roman can do it, and we know Roman is Vince's guy.
I think that I just think that they have an opportunity to create someone new.
Dude, I'm kind of with you. I just don't think you've given me the name yet.
Who would you?
I don't think the guy's there. I don't think he's there. I don't think he's in the pipeline. I don't think he exists right now.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say.
Instead of trying to get somebody up to that point, maybe take a chance on it, you throw Cena at him?
No, you see, here's the thing. You're taking it as I want to make Cena a star again or whatever. What I'm saying is I'm trying to buy time to find that guy or just somebody. I'll use Vince's own terminology. Maybe somebody comes out of the blue and grabs the fucking brass ring. You know what I'm saying?
What about Cole?
Oh, you know what? I mean, listen, I'm more open to that than anybody else I've heard today.
But Cole said many times he doesn't want to go up air. Why? Because he knows he'll get squandered.
Yeah, all right. I mean, okay, but here's the thing. If he got in front of the right audience, he has star power.
And I think he'd be a good guy to go up against Reigns because obviously he'd be a major underdog.
Major underdog. Plus,
you could get that Daniel Bryan magic again with.
Yeah,
Cole.
I think you're right. Plus, he would pull in that cult following of the the pure wrestler. You know what I mean? Versus the Vince guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could get that with Ciampa. The only problem with Ciampa is his age. All that fucking gray hair is gonna fucking turn people off.
Well, I think the other thing they'd be worried about is an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, Balor makes perfect sense too. I know you're not a fan, AC, but it's like from a story.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, given the options, he's one of the options. I agree, he's one of the options.
I'd rather see them put him in that role that you were talking about than John Cena. Sorry, you're gonna have fucking Mr. John Cena come back and no. The only reason why John Cena's coming back anytime soon is to promote Suicide Squad, which comes out later this month.
Yeah.
So.
Got star versus star. I like big stars fighting each other. I don't know. It's just I'm a star fucker, I guess.
You are.
I'm admitting it.
I mean, but here's the thing. It's like, what do you do after?
I know the only drawback though, and I'll admit this, and I just thought about it, is less people would boo Reigns. Reigns would probably be a baby again at the end of that.
So right now, have you seen that Suicide Squad trailer that he's doing?
No.
He's doing. His fucking arms are huge. He is. He is roided up.
Yeah, he's big. He looks big.
I told you I'm not into the pop culture right now.
I mean, but John Cena right now, I think he's starting to transcend. It should have happened a lot sooner, about 10 years sooner for him in life. But because now he's in his mid to late 40s when this should have happened in his mid to late 30s, and he could have probably had a longer movie career. Cena's not coming back anytime soon. He's got movies that he's doing. He's got the character that he's playing in.
He come back.
They're doing a
series,
I think.
Yeah, they're doing a series.
He come back for a 2-month run and do a pay-per-view.
If they were going to have him come back, they would have had him come back at one of these 2 nights of Mania where there was fans.
No, when they talked about him coming back, they said it would not be at WrestleMania based on his schedule.
I don't know, man. He might be rock gone after this, especially if that TV series.
I mean, that's
takes
fine
off.
too. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm just. We were throwing out ideas of guys he could face, and Cena popped in my head. It doesn't have to be Cena. I get it's not ideal. But Edward, you said it yourself. I mean, they don't really have the guy that White is talking about.
No, they don't. They don't.
I mean, but that's why you.
The problem is Reigns is both of those guys. Reigns is the guy that Vince wants to be his mega superstar babyface, but he just works better as a heel.
I think,
he's in a weird spot because of that, because he's still as big a star as a heel, but he's very good at being a heel. So it's almost like nobody's going to want to see him go back to be a baby now.
I think that you have. Ciampa just looks too old to be popping on Good Morning America and saying, "Hey, I'm the champ," and he's not going to shave the beard.
Listen, I've had conversations with Ciampa. He's not going on Good Morning America.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is, well, if they're wanting him to go in there and they're paying him enough, he'll fucking do it. He's telling you now, oh, I won't do it. But if they fucking tell him, hey,
dude, this is what I love about like passionate wrestling fans like you and White House and other friends that I have. You guys assume that everybody you like in pro wrestling could be like a mega superstar, and it's just not that way.
And then you got fucking Finn Balor could go on there. He's got the look.
It's Cole. It's Cole. That's the only
guy. I think Cole's the guy.
Cole is the guy. The problem is, do they do like they've done with every other?
But I'm going to have the same argument about Cole that I had with White House. That you're under fucking contract. If I'm Vince, I'd be in there and be like, dude, I'm paying you a lot of fucking money. If I want you to come to SmackDown and face Roman Reigns and make you a mega star, get your fucking ass over there and fucking wrestle.
Yeah, I mean,
I pay you. Exactly,
and you're exactly fucking right. Hey, you can't stay down here forever. You got the potential to make me a lot of money. I'm going to bank you. I'm going to, pay you a lot. Come up here and be my main event guy. The problem is,
you know what I tell him? I go, if you don't want to do it, I'm going to pull you off TV and I'm going to hold you to your contract. I'm going to make sure by the time you wrestle again, nobody remembers who the fuck you are.
And here's the thing though. If he says, okay, Vince, strap the rocket to my back.
You're telling me I just
It
find
doesn't work
hard-
that way.
No,
I mean,
listen.
I know it doesn't, but the thing is, let's say they do call his ass up.
But dude, I don't get. Wait. Now it's not a third brand. Now it's developmental again because he's getting called up. You guys need to decide what the fuck NXT. I can't take this shit anymore. Look, Adam Cole is there. He's under contract to WWE. WWE owns NXT.
I get
He's
that.
gonna do whatever the fuck they tell him to do. And if they want him on SmackDown this week, he's gonna be on SmackDown this week. Same thing with Balor. Oh, I want to go back to NXT. I want to go back down. Well, okay. You know why you want to go back down? Because you couldn't get the fuck over when you were on Raw. That's why he wants to go, quote unquote, back down. This is all bullshit.
Yeah.
With this NXT already. I can't stand this anymore.
Why
And you're telling me Adam Cole signed there with he signed there with the intention of being NXT's biggest star? Do you really go to WWE to be that? No, you go to WWE to main event fucking WrestleMania, right?
treat it
Or main event fucking SummerSlam. Isn't that why you go to WWE?
Yes, that's why you
they
go.
still treat it as developmental because okay,
he's master developmental. Bring him up.
they completely
Right.
whatever happened in NXT does not matter because now whenever somebody comes on there, they go, all right, let's say Adam Cole shows up on Raw. They consider that his WWE debut.
So you're telling me right now, if on Friday night, if Roman Reigns opens SmackDown and says that I have nobody to challenge me, you guys are all losers, I kicked all your asses, none of you are gonna beat me, and I'm gonna stand in the middle of this ring by the end of the night, and I want to see who thinks they're a big time superstar or whatever else. And then Roman Reigns heads out with 10 minutes left in SmackDown, and Adam fucking Cole shows up to be his challenger. I think that would be huge in the wrestling world.
It is huge in the wrestling world, but I'm telling you right now, they're going to be like, oh, this is his WWE debut. They're not going to care about what he did in NXT. They don't. Because they still consider...
Who's this they?
If you listen to the fucking announcing, they go, oh, he made his WWE debut. I'm like, motherfuckers, he's been signed, XYZ has been signed to WWE.
Well, maybe somebody in WWE, like Vince, should say, hey, listen, when this guy comes up, we should talk about all his accolades in the wrestling world and why he can be a challenger. And when he gets in the ring and Roman Reigns laughs at him, then you have something. And Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns' character should you long hair little midget. This isn't fucking indie wrestling, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. But the edict.
I mean, there is a story to tell there if you tell it.
Yeah, but they completely ignore. That's why fucking Jeff quit watching NXT partly because they completely ignore anything that happened.
Right, but listen, you're saying what they're not going to do. We're trying to come up with guys. We bring up a name, we come up with a scenario. Granted, you're right. They probably won't do it. But I mean, if you want to make a star, where are you going to bring them from? We thought about the entire Raw and SmackDown roster. You can't come up with a guy. You think, oh, we'll bring this guy, maybe bring this guy back from NXT or bring that guy back from NXT. I mean, listen, Cole, he's if NXT is development, even if it's not developmental, he's mastered the third brand, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's cool. Like, he has great matches. It's a lot of fun, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you're really there to be like a big star in main event WrestleMania or main event a big pay-per-view, this might be the opportunity. And maybe they take a chance. Now it kind of goes against the idea we're talking about the bigger guys, blah, 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 blah. But it's also could tell a big story for Reigns, why all those bigger guys beat the shit out of each other and develop other challengers down the road.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Here you go. His Edwards.
I don't think they're going to do it, but
there's one guy out there. Edwards.
Good.
Get ready to revive fucking AC because he's about to blow his top.
Oh.
There's one guy out there they could bring in.
Okay.
There's only one guy. If they're going to go, it's already established. Your favorite guy, AC. They could always bring Punk back. Punk and Roman. AEW fucked up. AEW fucked up.
It's not crazy, dude. It's not. I'm not going to shit on it. It's not crazy.
It's a good match.
I mean, listen. If you want to fucking have you want to sell out SummerSlam and have a lot of press and everybody going crazy. I mean, yeah, of course.
You could have his ass out there going, dude, you want to talk about the head of the table? I built the motherfucking table.
Dude, listen, like, here's the thing. I don't like him, but I understand his stardom too. And if there's no way I could argue against that. I mean, listen, I'd pop for that. I'm not an idiot.
Everybody in AEW, every time AEW highlights a surprise or says a big debut, first guy that's mentioned. And I'm sitting here going, and so much so that the day before, when it was Christian, the day before that pay-per-view, fucking Punk goes on Twitter and goes, "I ask me anything." And before we even start, it's not me.
So Edwards, I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think he's sitting home watching AEW and saying, "I want to go there"?
Hell no.
Nope, not at all.
Hell no.
There you go. So if he comes back, there's your answer.
And why should he when they wouldn't even take a proper meeting with him?
Well, I mean, I'm not even just talking about that. I'm just talking about him watching the show and seeing the clusterfuck.
Mr. ADD, I can't cut a promo. I have social anxiety. Kahn can only talk to people by phone. He can't do proper meetings. So he can't do business. And CM Punk only wants to do business what he thinks is the right way, which is meeting in person.
Hi, Tony. Great pay-per-view tonight.
I'm downloading this and putting it on YouTube.
I'll tell you this right now. I think if you want a ratings pop, bringing Punk back to face Reigns, probably, I'd be shocked if it didn't get a rating.
Or
at a minimum.
Oh man, for maybe a couple weeks, depending on what you do with them, but still,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, dude, this is like they have booked Roman so strong now. He's at that point. He's at that Super Cena point where the only people that can beat him. Yeah, it's true, man. But the only people that can beat him at this point are Cena, The Rock, whoever else can work, maybe Triple H, right?
That's why I
have to go back in time for those guys. And there's nobody in the pipeline that could beat him. Look, they just basically, what Vince is telling us tonight at WrestleMania is he just went over Edge and Daniel Bryan. Now he is elevated up into that territory.
It's not like he just he ran through my trope of, okay, Daniel Bryan's there to take the pinfall. He pinned both of them at the same fucking time. It negates the fucking champion's disadvantage deal where you don't have to be pinned to lose the title, or he could pin one guy but he didn't pin the other guy so he can have a rematch with the other guy. No, he pinned them both. That's done. That's fucking done.
The other thing too is me and Jigsaw.
But what the fuck?
Me and Jigsaw talked about this. A lot of WrestleManias recently have ended with Roman Reigns.
Yep.
He's obviously their guy.
So when Cena was Super Cena, it was Punk that actually was the guy that was so white hot that they couldn't resist it anymore. But there isn't that guy right now.
I mean, Daniel Bryan was kind of like that guy tonight because there was a lot. That motherfucker was the baby face of the match. He was the guy getting cheered more than anybody else in that match tonight. But it's Daniel Bryan, and if one thing they've told us is that, okay, he had his little moment 7 years ago. It's never going to happen again. And, it happened when he came back and turned heel. Nobody, it was good. But he's not getting that title again.
No.
He's not going to be the main event guy. He's not. It's done. The bloom is off the rose when it comes to Daniel Bryan and Vince McMahon's eyes. It never was on the rose.
Well, here's the other thing. If it's true that he's transitioning towards these bigger guys, it doesn't really fit Daniel Bryan either.
Right.
And even if you do bring a Punk in, do you have Punk beat Roman?
I mean, I don't, but you might.
You got. I mean, does it make sense for him to beat Roman and have a little bit of?
You know what I want to see? I'm going to be honest about this, but it's not going to. This is a WrestleMania match, which we probably, if it was to happen, wouldn't happen until next year. You know what I want to see? I think the next step for Roman Reigns is to beat The Rock at WrestleMania.
There was rumors that it was going to happen this year.
Yeah. I thought that's where they were heading with the head of the table.
Right.
Rock.
Right, because who could actually make that claim over him?
Where do you go after that? Where do you go after that, though? That's the problem with when Cena fought The Rock.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it though either.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but it's like, okay, it's a.
Yeah, but
it's,
here's the thing, and I get it, and I understand, and we all have this. We want wrestling to be great, but every single thing that happens in wrestling, you go, what are you going to do after? What are you going to do after? What are you going to do after? I mean, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like every match, you go, what are we going to do after?
the thing is, though, I mean, when it comes to those
There is no after. There's no. I mean, they always come up with something. Is it great? No. I mean, should you not do it because there's nothing to do after?
You're not going to get a long storytelling promo that lasts you. You're not going to get a Moxley Omega type feud when it comes to The Rock or John Cena.
Okay, and all I hear is how everybody hates how Moxley's still in the picture.
I don't. I like the fact that the feud's continuing a little bit. It's refreshing. I will say that's one thing about Kahn that he's actually doing right. It's refreshing to see that 2-year long feud. Flair and Dusty.
Yeah, but they introduced Kirsten Cage into it, and he's wrestling Rich Swann in another company, and they're doing
The
all.
bomb
I mean,
going off the end didn't really hurt anybody.
and that's why the feud is still continuing because the bomb didn't hurt anybody.
That's right.
But the thing is, you see what I'm saying, though? Isn't it refreshing a little bit to see a fucking feud, but be a feud and not a popcorn fart? Let's have the Hatfields and McCoys that last for years, and they never really forget about each other. Maybe, yes, after this next time go around or whatever, they take a break for a while. But a year later, 2 years later, it reignites again.
I just think big WrestleMania matches are different where you almost don't even look beyond it. It's like, it should just be like a big, like if you're doing Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania next year per se, and who knows if it will ever happen. We're just throwing ideas out here. I don't think you're doing that with the idea of what do I do next. It's let's have a huge fucking moment.
And I think that if they're going to do that next year, when they could fit more fans in the building,
I mean that's going to be a sellout next year. I mean they're
more fucking money.
Jerry Jones ain't fucking around.
No,
Yeah,
not.
but I mean that's the year to do it though. That's
right. I mean, but we don't know The Rock's schedule with movies and everything.
Well, we can't let up on the virus. We gotta be persistent even in 2022.
Fauci, how are you?
I'm doing great. Great show tonight. AC.
Have you met Joe White yet?
No, I haven't met him. He sounds like a redneck motherfucker. I could be
Joe
wrong.
White, welcome to Phony Fauci.
Phony Fauci. Well, Fauci, maybe you could come down here and we could get some gabagool,
Stop doing my voice. It's insulting. Who's this loser? Scumbag.
I've been listening to a lot of O&A recently, and there's this where they did a bit on Twister and how the movie Twister sucks, and they did because
I actually like that movie.
I enjoy that movie. Actually.
Yeah, does it really suck?
Think about it, that movie sucks. Everybody's all extreme, and we're chasing tornado. We're extreme.
You know what the problem is? After they defeated the biggest tornado, they didn't know what to do after.
So what do
Where
we
do we go now?
Where do we go after the biggest tornado that ever happened?
He drew up the big plan with crayons.
I mean, but the thing about the tornado, the O&A bit was they turned it because they had that was the year that they had that tornado rip through Brooklyn. And this is way back in the day. So Anthony starts doing this bit where he's doing fucking New York style Italian storm chasers. And he's doing the Fauci voice going around storm chasing. And he's like, maybe after we chase this tornado, we'll go get some gabagool, And he said, hey, get the fuck off my street with the tornado blowing through. If we want to talk later, I'll go get some blah, blah, blah.
Wait, you got to be careful because White House asked Fauci a question one time, which was, an obvious answer. And Fauci wasn't happy about it. He let him have it.
He did.
He's like, the answer to that, White House. Oh man, that was great.
But no, what do y'all think happens tomorrow night on Raw? What do we see?
All right, let's see here. Interesting tidbit. I've been watching AEW for the past months now. The boy was watching Mania with me, and he said, "Hey, Dad, can we start watching WWE again?" And I said, "What, like Raw and SmackDown?" He's like, "Yeah." And I said, all right, yeah, we can do that. Just wanted to throw it out there. 9-year-olds must have liked what he's seen
He liked
tonight
what he saw.
compared to AEW.
Here's the thing with my kid. My kid's 11. He doesn't watch that Wednesday night shit. He hates it. He doesn't know who the fuck they are. He doesn't like it at all. He thinks it's stupid.
You know,
I'm
we've
thinking-
covered this on the shows, AC obviously, but my kid loses interest when they present the teams, and you can't really tell who's on a team and what the fuck's going on, and the battle royals and the fucking it loses him. You know, like 5 minutes in, he's done, and he's back on the iPad until the next segment comes on. It's like,
do you think there's something to pushing these bigger guys, like almost superhero in nature?
I think
Like when we were
is.
kids, the larger than life, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's might be what has him saying that, like
seeing
these larger than life guys, like, oh my god, this
dude, he's
that's
into he's into Marvel right now, right?
Okay.
I mean, and Star
It's-
Wars, all of it. Those guys are on WWE, you know.
My kid can't fucking wait for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh yeah, dude, my kid loves Spider-Man. He's all in.
The problem is too, though, he hates the new Star Wars shit. This new series that they have coming out, where the fucking it's a cartoon. Yeah, it's a cartoon, but one of the crew members of this ship is a rock, a literal fucking boulder.
We didn't even look at it. That's the Bad Batch or whatever.
I have no idea. That's what's going to happen after Falcon and Winter Soldier goes off 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
But you're not getting Loki directly after that. You're going to get
that was ready to drop. No.
It's June 11th.
Oh shit.
Okay. So between 2 weeks from now and June 11th, so from fucking April 30th all the way till fucking June 11th, you're gonna have that stupid Kathleen Kennedy ran Star Wars woke bullshit shoved down your throat.
Yeah, we're gonna be skipping that shit.
I am too. Nobody. I've been wanting now. The show that
I didn't even watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, dude, you need to.
Oh, it's good.
They fired.
I heard it's good.
They fired the best part of it for no fucking reason. But
yeah, well,
I mean, I'll tell you, if you want.
Well, AC might not ever watch it because of that. So I mean,
that's.
Go watch a show that does woke.
I mean, listen. I just honestly, I hadn't watched it before that, so it wasn't like I just stopped watching it.
Right? Yeah, of course.
I mean,
and I don't know, like the real reason. I'll be honest with you. The real reason I didn't watch it is I don't watch a lot of Disney. I wasn't watching a lot of Disney Plus anyway, and the last few movies just didn't do it for me.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of was just like, I just want to remember Star Wars like when it was good. I don't know.
It's how everybody else feels. They ruined it. They brung in a woman who immediately.
I hated the last movie. I hated it.
It's terrible.
And I refused to go see Knives Out because Rian Johnson, who directed The Force Awakens and ruined the franchise, I refused to go see anything that his name is on. Still, everybody says, "Oh man, you got to watch Knives Out. It's actually pretty good." I said, "Sorry, it's got Rian Johnson's name on it. I won't watch it."
Speaking of shows, wait, where are we with The Walking Dead? Did they have the finale yet?
Here's Negan was the best fucking episode they've ever done. It was 2 seasons. It was.
Listen, I cheated, guys.
2 seasons. It's 2 seasons too late.
I cheated today.
Uh-oh.
I dipped out maybe like midway season 9.
Yeah, I remember you telling me when the Rick thing.
When Rick left, and I stayed on 2 episodes after that, I think. But anyway, I watched Here's Negan tonight.
Oh, okay. So you didn't see anything in between.
No, I didn't see anything in between.
Okay.
But goddamn, was that a good episode?
But
see, I think you would love the Whisper stuff.
The Whisper stuff was good. The Whisper.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
The problem is when they said, "Okay, now we're gonna go because of the pandemic, we're gonna release 10 extra." Was it 10 extra episodes, AC? That they did?
6
or 6? They're all fucking bottle episodes.
Right. Right. Yeah.
The first one wasn't, but everyone and 2 of them are about Carol.
Yeah, I saw the first one. I haven't seen anything.
Are they worth it though? The bottle episodes?
No, because they don't do anything for the overall story.
It doesn't progress. Okay.
So I could just go to this last one then.
And even the last one.
I mean, I'll probably watch all of them, but
the last one, the one with Negan.
Wait, what was tonight? Was tonight Fear?
I don't know. I don't watch Fear.
Oh, okay.
The Here's Negan episode was fucking great.
It was.
every goddamn minute of it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and his wife are beasts when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
I love how the next morning I woke up and I read an interview where Morgan was
Magic
like,
City, baby. I keep telling everybody,
That's right,
Magic
yeah.
City.
well, I kept I read where he did an interview the next day and he's like, I was kind of worried about my own wife acting. I told her, you better fucking bring it. I don't fuck around. If you don't bring your A game.
He's
You know?
fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were awesome together. They
And
were.
I bought those two as a couple. As
Oh,
as-
yeah.
as you don't have to act. You really
Right.
don't have to act with those two. And the fucking AC, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
I have not.
Oh man, it's too. You're gonna now. Okay, AC's watched everything.
How long is it going to take you to say this? Because I could go take a leak and you could say it.
It's 2 seasons too late.
All right. Well, yeah, I've heard you say that.
Too late. And they should have done this fucking right when, right after he was captured.
Okay.
Should have done
Gotcha.
Well, that would have made sense.
Right before the
Yeah,
Whisper.
I could see that.
So next season it picks up in June. We're not that, or summertime. We're not that far away.
No,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I have to
Did they
catch
do
up
it?
here.
Did they do anything with the stormtroopers?
that's the next season. When they previewed the next season, they showed like a red stormtrooper outfit hanging up in a locker.
So they didn't do anything with the ones with
Eugene and them are still captured.
they showed it though.
Yeah, Princess had her own bottle episode concerning this.
I can't wait for that. Not
It's not bad. It's not that bad.
is
Man.
it? All right.
No,
I don't know
She's
who
just
that
fucking
is, pal.
annoying.
God,
Oh, yeah, well,
You'll learn her princess
you'll
is.
learn.
Who the fuck's princess, pal?
Yeah, she's she's
token-
princess.
she's the new token Latina for the show.
Oh yeah, big ass, yeah.
She can handle a machine gun. I'll tell you that.
Latina equals big ass.
Hey, maybe that's where they got the idea of putting purple on Damian Priest.
Maybe, pal, yeah.
Goddamn power. The walking bukkake. Ah.
Bukkake dead, yeah.
So season.
I got a new idea for Alexa and for the Fiend. They're gonna whisper, pal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So on let's see. There
Actually, fun fact, Edwards. One of the whisperers is your boy.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
yeah, I heard that.
one of the main guys.
and he does a good job.
He does a great job. I agree.
So on the new season's
I
gonna
mean, when you don't have to really say much, he's a great actor. I'm kidding.
Poor Ope.
I just no, dude. I just love everybody gets so emotional about Opie, and I just love to like. I'm sorry. I love Opie too.
August 22nd is when the new season premieres. I read a rumor that it's like fucking 20 something episodes. 24.
Yeah, 24. It's 24.
Old school.
Yeah, 24-hour long episodes. That's like an episode of Arrow.
Well, they're probably like we talked about. They're probably gonna do like 12 and 12 or do 8, 8 and 8. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but I read that it's 24 episodes.
So are they still doing like they'll run till Christmas and then bring it back?
Yeah,
Spring or
that's what.
whatever.
Well, hey, they normally start it in October, so starting in August, maybe they do 12, take a break, and then come back in February.
Yeah, but yeah.
So
That's
you think
probably what'll
August
happen.
2nd? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts them to the end of September. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That puts you right around the first part of November. They'll say they take the whole the holidays off like they
Right.
used to do.
And come
Yeah.
back in January instead of
Come
February.
January, do the other 12, and that
There you
extends
go.
to 2022.
Maybe they do 16, stop in December, then do 8.
No, I think you split it up 12 and 12.
I agree, but yeah.
But I'm still waiting on that Rick movie that we're supposed to be getting.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do some, if they do the Rick movie, we're probably gonna get some Michonne in that, right? Because they kind of left her on a major cliffhanger too.
They left her because she was leaving the show to go do movies like Black Panther, which she's fucking amazing in. But anyway, I mean, her.
So it's funny, like every time, like me and my father talk about The Walking Dead, he gets like so pissed that Michonne left without the kids. He's like,
Yeah.
"Who leaves your kids?" I'm like,
Why the
"Fucking
fuck do you
zombie
leave your kid
apocalypse."
behind?
Like,
That's great.
I was like, Judith told her to go.
So Rick did appear on an episode of Fear the Walking Dead. He appeared in the 4th season.
Hmm.
It was Morgan's first season.
Yeah. So he hadn't been killed yet.
Do you remember where the junkyard people were?
Yeah.
All right. So after the he left after the wars with the Saviors.
Yep.
So after the Savior Wars, Morgan went to the junkyard people because he wanted to be like left alone. And various main characters kept going there trying to talk him into coming back.
Oh God, that sounds like Carol.
Rick was one of them, and that's when Morgan ended up taking off for good and finding his way onto Fear. So the first episode of season 4, I believe, was they showed all that because that's when they introduced Morgan in. See, the funny thing about Fear's really like 2 different shows. Like you have the first like 2 or 3 seasons, which is a group.
They hit the reset button because it wasn't.
They hit a big reset. They brought in Morgan, but they left a few characters from the original 3 seasons and put them in with the Morgan people that Morgan found along the way. And then you end up Dwight actually is in there too,
I think,
and his wife.
Oh, so he found Honey. Okay.
Yeah, which is that part of it was late in the last. That's actually why I'm wondering when it comes back, because it was very late in the last season where he actually found her, and that's a big part of what's going on right now.
That's located on the West Coast, isn't it?
No, they're in Texas.
They're in Texas. Okay, well, close enough.
It started. Fear started on the West Coast, went into Mexico, came back into the U.S., and then all the people that are on there now kind of found each other in Texas.
I'm really surprised that they haven't gone outside of the U.S. like done like a,
I thought about that too.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see.
Japan, Walking Dead, Japan.
It was kind of cool, like seeing like how they tied in like drug cartels and shit with Fear with the Mexico stuff.
They could even lease it out, kind of like The Office started off as a UK property. They let NBC adapt it. Why can't they let the BBC adapt The Walking Dead and do like Walking Dead UK?
Yeah.
Probably
be pretty good.
It probably would be.
So is Rick coming back this final season, or is he just with the movies?
I think that they have to have him somehow come back.
I would think, right?
Yeah, I would think.
Or at least shown with a explanation.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't come back to Alexandria, but at least we see him at maybe on the last episode, and that ties into, hey, don't miss the Rick movie, or come
right.
Because
there was actually a big spot in Fear where Morgan was trying to bring the whole group to Alexandria.
Really?
And it got derailed, which then made him change his mind and decide to stay in Texas and try to do his new, because Morgan is still like
crazy.
The Walking Dead Morgan. But he goes through it, right? Like certain times he'll kill everybody, and then other times he won't kill anybody.
Yeah.
So he goes through those motions. You know what I mean?
Does he still fight with the staff and all that?
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, you guys don't watch it, whatever. He has the staff now, but he has like a huge axe on it. I won't tell you how he got it, but if you ever watch, he's in full psycho mode right now. So he has his staff, but with a huge axe. And there's a story behind it of how he got the axe and what made him go nutty again and blah blah blah.
I think one of the best episodes of Walking Dead, and I skipped over it because when Negan debuted, when they had the big cliffhanger, which was probably the day that the show really started to go downhill, was when they did that cliffhanger with Negan, where you didn't know who got killed, and it was amazing how they it's on YouTube. When Negan kills Abraham and Glenn, they shot 4 or 5 different scenarios for that.
Really?
And they leaked out. If you go look at it, there's one out there where he kills Maggie. And they leaked it out on purpose to throw people off.
Nice.
People had already figured it out that it was going to be Abraham because the Orange Crush and all that mess. But They leaked that out. So I'm kind of wondering how they're going to keep leaks from happening with this last season. Because there's people that literally will sit on the fence line of the studios where they film with fucking cameras up in.
Well, yeah, it's Melvin Dassey at the airport. You know, like,
Right.
No, it's not
Here's
that.
the thing that I don't go looking for leaks, and I don't really. I just watch it and whatever.
But I it's gotten to the point with Marvel where I do. Like especially if there's like a character that I didn't know who the fucking power broker was. So immediately after the episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier aired, I go on the internet and find out who this guy is and the rumors and everything. Like the WandaVision. Did y'all watch WandaVision, Jeff? I know
not yet.
I didn't.
It's fucking good.
I keep hearing that.
But the thing is, I'm gonna spoil something for you. Everybody originally was like, okay, Mephisto is the bad guy, which for those who don't know who Mephisto is, he's literally the devil. He's Marvel's version of Satan, pretty much. So everybody's like, Mephisto, and there's leaks coming out on the quote unquote leaks coming out that Mephisto and Doctor Strange show up and all this does that. I won't spoil. I'll tell you this much: Mephisto's not the bad guy. Nothing. Almost everything that they said that these leaks were going to happen didn't fucking happen. But it's still a good show. It's still a good characterization of Wanda and what she's having to go through since Vision's death. The one that's really causing controversy right now is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it gets into more the geopolitical crap that people go through now and the wokeness and all this mess, because the flag smashers are right now are the bad guys. And their whole thing is, since that snap happened where half the population went away, they want things to return to where they were during that 5-year period. Because they're like, hey, we have better oceans. Food, everybody had a roof over their head. There wasn't as much population. So, naturally everything got better. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, the Avengers snap everybody back, and people who had homes and everything became refugees again. So it's a bit woke. There are some woke episodes, but it's fucking good, man. They do it the right way. They do. There is a way you can be woke.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a way to do it, and then there's a insulting way, and that's what we're used to.
I went back and watched the show. Now that when HBO Max came out, they put Titans on there. And fucking Titans is good. I haven't seen that. It's not for children. Do not let your kid watch it.
Right.
It's not for children. I mean, the first minute they have Robin in it because it's the Teen Titans.
Teen Titans, but not.
And
right.
somebody sees Robin, and one of the thugs in the alley goes, "Oh God, Batman's around here somewhere," and Robin kicks all their asses, and he's like, "Fuck Batman."
Oh wow, that's cool.
And they do get woke. Like in the second season, all the female characters get directed to go to this diner in Texas and or Nevada, where I forget where it was. But Bruce Wayne shows up, and Bruce Wayne is like, you need to get together, and you need to get back together and do this, and this. And Firestar, female character, they race swapped her, but it's good. She plays it well. She goes, did Bruce Wayne really come all the way here to mansplain us what we need to do? And one of the other characters, no, one of the other character, I believe it's the one who plays Wonder Girl, jumps in, is like, yeah, he did. And you know what? He's right. So, they do it. They hit you with that wokeness, and then, but they also do it. It's a badass fucking show, and they do it the correct way.
So they're trolling the wokeness.
I wouldn't say they're trolling it, but they're not shoving it constantly down your throat. Now, Doom Patrol does. Doom Patrol is another DC. It's a spinoff from Titans, and there are episodes that will make you cringe. One of the episodes is about a street named Danny. It's a sentient. How can I explain this without going into nerd terms? Well, the way they base it's a
you can't white
alien who takes the form of a street, And anybody who doesn't fit in with the world, whether you be gay, transgender, all that, whatever, you could come here and feel safe. This is your safe space, okay?
Safe space.
Everybody could be themselves here. And the street also identifies
Safe spaces under my desk, pal. Yeah.
the street itself identifies itself as genderqueer. So there are some episodes where, yes, oh my God, here we go with the wokeness. But if you ride it out, Brendan Fraser's character, he plays the robot man. He steals the fucking show, and it's kind of worth pushing all the wokeness to the side. The problem I have with it is that street, that alien transcendent street that they say, it gets to the point where it is the crutch that the whole fucking show seems to lean on. And it gets old after a while. But the good far outweighs the bad fucking wokeness, with the series. Because there are times where they shove it down your throat, but for the most part, they don't. They leave it alone,
All right, boys, I'm going to bounce.
Yeah, I think.
Thanks
We
for the
should
nerd
wrap
info.
it up. We should wrap it up here anyway. We went up 25 minutes over time, but we'll wrap it up here for from Pillar to Post.
So guys,
Joe White.
good pay-per-view tonight. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, good
absolutely.
pay-per-view tonight. Yeah.
All right,
Fun rapping
Tony.
with you guys.
Great pay-per-view tonight.
there you go. Thank you. Oh man,
I know your game, Joe White.
I am ripping this and putting it up there on fucking YouTube. This is going on my channel. It can't.
Take scumbags. You said you.
You paid
take
for that
fucking
fucking
picture.
No,
pal.
I
There it is.
He did. He paid for that fucking picture. He knows he did.
Oh yeah, he did.
Has anybody
He
heard
did.
lately?
No, thank God.
Neither. Good. All
Thank
right.
God. All right. From Pillar to Post, Cool Truth Podcast Productions, Retromania Wrestling Podcast Network. I'm AC. He's Joe White. He's Jeff Edwards. We're out of here. We'll talk to you guys soon. Nighty night, everybody.
That was awesome, guys.